Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of PAPAtv Live. Normally, during our episodes, we have lots of fun, and we make lots of jokes, and we're very lighthearted. We're going to be a little bit different tonight. As you can see from the shirts, we're celebrating Pride Month on this episode of PAPAtv Live, and we'll have some pride in this episode as well. I'm joined in the booth today by Priyanka Kochar on my left and Elizabeth Cromwell on my right. How are you two doing this evening?
Doing great. Great.
And we'll be playing some Wizard of Oz and some Captain Fantastic, two games that can be loosely linked to Pride. And we also have a special guest joining us, and that'll be the first part of our episode. Elizabeth, would you like to introduce them?
I would love to introduce one of my favorite people, one of the nicest people you will ever meet in pinball, and one half of the most adorable couple in my Facebook feed, Brian Dominy. Welcome to PAPAtv.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me.
So you are highly ranked. You're currently at 935, which I found to be amazing because you were the highest ranked at 29th back in 2005. Is that correct?
Yes, that was back in the early days of the ranking system. I traveled a lot more to tournaments back then than I do now, so it was a little bit easier to get up there, but still doing okay, I think.
You're definitely not doing bad, and you tend to kind of consistently fall in Pinburg, which is when most of us up here get to see you because it's a far travel from Boca Raton, which leads to my next question. Young people that live in Boca Raton, where do you retire to?
Down the street. Yeah, I don't know. Florida is a great place to live, so I don't have any desire to move from here. I like it. That's why I'm still here. That's why I moved here.
Did you grow up there?
No, I grew up in Georgia. I mean, not too far away. So the weather was pretty much the same. But yeah, I moved here right out of college.
So you, speaking of college, you worked for Highway Pinball. You coded. You were the lead coder on Full Throttle. Is that correct?
That is correct. I did Full Throttle for a couple years.
And then you worked on Alien with Joe Schober. The two of you. I will tell you, we have a Full Throttle here. I like Full Throttle a great deal. It was at the time that it came out one of the first non-IP based. It was unique design. It was a unique theme. And so I was super excited for it, and I have a special place in my heart for that game.
Well, that's good to hear. I've actually been hearing that from more people lately. I don't know. I guess maybe it's taken a while for people to understand it or appreciate it, but I've heard that several times recently, so that feels good.
Yeah, if it wasn't buried way in the back of Papa right now, I was going to dig it out for the broadcast, but it would have taken a lot of moving machines. But we can do another episode and have you on when we do it.
So this is our awesome Pride episode, and you're on because you are the highest ranked out gay male player that I know. So congratulations. I'm going to make you a button, which will go right with that amazing trophy over your left shoulder there. So what is, tell us what it's like to be an out gay male player in the straight dominated pinball world.
It's not that big of a deal. It hasn't been for me. I mean, everybody's experience is different. I find the tournament scene, people are just into playing the games, and they're into the game so much that you kind of don't even know necessarily much about the people you're playing with, right? So, initially at least. So I've never had any real issues with other people about it. I think pinball is a pretty diverse group of people in other ways. So people have been pretty cool, and it's of course I haven't been out the whole time I've been a pinball player. That was I think I came out around 2002, 2003. So
how long have you been playing?
Yeah, but it's playing competitively?
Yeah.
Oh, I played my first tournament back in 1993. I was a college student at the time.
That's awesome.
He's actually been participating in the Pinburgs when it was the old Pinburg. That surprised me when I was looking back at his rankings.
I think
about that every time I pass the old hotel on the way downtown.
That's awesome. You know, it's not a Best Western anymore now. It's a Holiday Inn, but it's the same hotel.
Oh no!
I hope they fix the air conditioning. Um, so you also did all of the rule sheets. Petey did a whole bunch of research. Petey's awesome.
Yeah,
You,
Brian's been playing for such a long time. If you go out to pinball.org, you can see rule sheets for many of the old games, and Brian was responsible for making the rule sheets for such hits as Addams Family, Attack from Mars, Demolition Man.
that's amazing. So over your shoulder there, we can see a couple of games. You said the Spider-Man is on loan from a friend. With the rest of
Yes.
yours, you've got a Simpsons, a World Cup Soccer, and then of course the two games that you helped to code and bring into the world.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Which is your favorite?
I mean, of the games that I have right now, World Cup Soccer is probably it's always going to be in my collection. I love that game. I've always loved that game. My tastes change from time to time, as games come and go, but that one's going to stay.
What's like your dream pin that you don't have?
Ooh, like a game that exists or doesn't exist.
No, that totally exists. Like is in the world, and if you could, if wishes were ponies and you had all the money in the world and you could spend any amount on a game, what game is it?
The other game that I've always said that I appreciate and like a lot is Attack from Mars. I've never owned one. It's never gotten old. I know a lot of people think it's a little simple compared to the games of today, but I find it's just got the right amount of complexity. Not too much, not too little. It's very entertaining. I never get tired of it.
As an operator, I can tell you it's perennially the number one best earner that we ever have on route.
I
Just earns.
I liked her other question. What is your dream theme?
I would really like if there was a Price is Right pinball game.
Oh.
The crowd here just went wild. You are not alone, apparently.
Yeah, I'm sure. I actually drew something up when I was in college. I mean, I've been thinking about this for a long time. So maybe it'll happen someday. If anybody's looking to do it, I have an idea waiting for you.
And you can definitely program it. Are you doing anything for any of the other pinball companies now as a programmer, or?
It might be
No,
secret.
I decided to take some time off from that. I mean, I'd be open to doing things maybe at some point, but I have another job. Pinball was never my full-time job, so I was doing pinball programming on nights and weekends, and I got burned out by that a little bit. So it's been nice for the last year or so, just not having to worry about that.
No doubt. Okay, so we're going to get ready, and we're going to start playing some Wizard of Oz. Brian will be here with us. He'll be commentating as the players play, and we'll continue our conversation with him about Pride and pinball.
How are you with Wizard of Oz, Brian?
I admit I have had very little time on it, so not the greatest. Actually, it did not treat me well in Pinburg last year, so...
Well, you'll be happy to know this is the same game that we put in Pinburg, and so it is set up Pinburg hard. If somebody can get to 50,000 points, I will buy them Boston Market, because I don't think you're going to do it.
Wow.
Yeah, I just called you out, Jake. I called you out.
Actually, we made it a little... It's not quite Pinburg hard. We put a 5-second ball saver on for tonight.
That is true. We did
It's
put
so
ball saver
generous.
on.
All right, so stepping up is Jake, and Wizard of Oz. It's a Jersey Jack game, the very first one that they put out. It's been very popular. They've had like 4 different versions of it now.
It's a wide body.
Yeah, no Boston Market for you, sir.
Not with that start. All right.
There, Brian, if you haven't been watching lately, these boys are obsessed.
Yeah. Hard-hitting questions, Brian. Is Boston Market a chain in Florida?
Yes, it is, and there's one about a half a mile from my house.
Yes.
We're all going to Brian's house afterwards.
For Boston Market. And then pinball later.
Do you have one of do you have a Waz near you en route? Do you have somewhere that you get to play it at all ever, Brian? Because
There
I
is one. There's one on location. There's a place called the Silver Ball Museum in Delray Beach. I haven't been there in a few months, so I assume they still have it, but I could be wrong on that.
I don't see them very often anymore out on route. When they first came out, they were everywhere. It's a very popular thing.
I want Chris to get one of the modes where it turns the lights off or
No.
turns everything rainbow. I don't know. I just think it's so cool.
It is a really, really cool mode.
Because, I don't know. When this game came out, were there a lot of rainbow LEDs like Star Trek?
Nope.
Not
No,
really.
this was like the first one that was so fully.
Like the whole
LED,
game
yeah.
was like all LED with rainbows. I think
No.
that's fantastic. And anytime I take kids that I nanny to play pinball, they'll pick the game with the rainbow LEDs first.
So fun story. We had this on route. Doug Polka had this on route at the Double Wide Grill in Southside, and he had gone down there to do a clean out and touch it up, and was sitting at the bar waiting for a sandwich, and he looked over
Whoa.
and there were these
Ugh.
two 60-year-old women. They put a $20 bill in there, and first of all, we're expecting change back and didn't get change. So he went over and he opened it up, and then he just gave them a bunch of free credits, and he said, "You will never see 60-year-olds walk over and put $20 in Iron Man,
That's
but
for
they'll walk over and put $20 in Wizard of Oz."
All right, now stepping up is Tia. When you play this game, Tia, which approach do you like to take? Or do you go for the rainbow targets and try to start the munchkin modes, or do you go for the multi-ball quick?
I'd like to go for the multi-ball.
Okay. To get
I
the
might try
multi-ball,
something
you'll see there's 3 rollovers, Lion, Tin Man, Scarecrow. To get to the, light each lock, you have to roll over those enough times to
Scared of anything? Time is a factor.
spell their names out, and then once the names are spelled out, the ramp is lit for the lock. This one here.
No harm.
Let's see how Tia progresses. There, now she's already got Tin Man lit by rolling over that left one enough times. You see the lock is lit in the center.
It's funny because I always spell line first because it's right above that upper flipper.
Okay.
Well, also Lion's the shortest. So spell,
Okay.
yeah.
yeah, I think the first time through the multi-ball, you get spotted 2 letters for each one, so you only have to roll over it twice. And then it gets harder from there. Now you see she working on the rainbow targets as well. Up here, those will light the munchkin modes in the house. She's one away.
Where's the house?
Right there. Yeah. And now stepping up is the runner-up from the Bat City Open. And he seems to have grown a unicorn horn since we saw him on those broadcasts. Lewis Bevins.
Hello there.
Great job over the weekend.
Thank you. I had a lot of fun out there. If you ever get a chance to go to Austin, get to go to Buffalo Billiards, even if it's just for a weekend, it's a wonderful time.
Okay, now Lewis is up in the upper left playfield there, trying to get the rescue.
All right.
Take me with you.
So Brian, you're not traveling as much as you used to, but did you ever go to Bat City?
No, I have never been.
What's
I
the
did watch
farthest
some
you've
of the
ever?
stream over the weekend, so it was a cool event. I can tell.
Yeah, the stream was great. What's the farthest you've ever traveled for a tournament?
I went to one of the IFPA championships in London.
Oh, cool.
That was going to answer the question. I saw you had one out of U.S. tournament. And
That's it.
that's definitely way out.
PD's been creeping on your stats.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Pete's kind of
Petey's been doing
stalkerish.
homework.
Research.
How high did you place at IFP? What was that, 17?
Oh, I don't remember the number of it. It was like the mid 2000s. I think I came in. Oh, I came in around the middle of the pack. That's usually what I do. I always finish in the middle.
But speaking of IFPA 17, that will be held in Florida. Would that be something that you would be helping the IFPA staff with? Or I'm not huge on Florida geography, so I'm not sure if it's even close to you. But
Yeah,
Florida.
it's at the Pinball Asylum in Fort Myers. It's about 2.5 hours from me. I was actually just over there a few weeks ago for another event, so I plan on being in the area for it. Absolutely.
nice.
Do you have a lot of pinball near you in Boca Raton, or do you have to travel, multiple hours to get anywhere?
There's not a lot of location play in this area. Most of it is in people's homes. You have,
Yeah,
know
look
people
behind him.
like this. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Jake's up after a very rough first ball.
So I have an important question.
Yes.
What do you guys think of the shoes flipper covers that used to be in the game?
I love them.
I used to love them when they existed, and they haven't been there since they fell off. Within a month of us getting these.
Was that like the first time they made the flippers some type of clothing other than banana flippers?
Oof, I'm gonna assume so.
Yeah, I can't think of any other.
Shoe. I thought it was cool. Oh,
Nice.
nice.
Oh.
post. There's no rubber on that post
There is
either.
no rubber on that post. That is a hard post to recover from.
That was skill, Jake.
So, Brian, what happened last year at Pinburg that this treated you so poorly?
Well, maybe it wasn't as bad as I remember, but I think it was round 9, which is when everybody's blood pressure starts to go through the roof.
Oh.
So I had a pretty rough round. I had a couple of good opponents that played really well in this game. So I was behind the whole time, I think.
Well, you ended up 114th at Pinburg out of 734 players, which is nothing to sneeze at, sir.
114, that's A division. Or the top division.
Yeah, that's always my goal. My goal is to qualify for A division on day 1, and then I kind of relax a little bit on day 2. Whatever happens at that point is just gravy.
It's a good
I
way
think
to
that's
think about it.
a great way to think about it. And I know somebody who last year made finals for the first time at Pinburg, and he told me straight up that I just relaxed and stopped trying to stress myself out about it and just had fun playing. And I think that's the right way to do it. If you're not having fun at Pinburg, you're doing it wrong.
So Chris got the 2-ball lights out multi-ball from the crystal ball. There are no lights on.
Well, there's the one blinking.
Oh, there's one blinking. That means 2x playfield, right? Do you want to show me?
Yeah, it's the light right there.
Oh,
It's the one blinking.
Thank you.
To get this multi-ball, you need to spell ball right there. And then once you spell that, shoot it through the little loop there. And that'll start one of 4 or 5 different multi-balls.
So this light just came on. Is he turning the lights on as he shoots?
It just means that light went on because he hit the witch and she popped out of her little hole.
Gotcha.
So now she's out. You can see her I think Jake said 2 times. I'm a little bit confused about witch stuff.
He's angering her.
Yeah, I never really get any witch progress.
Now,
Come on, Boston Market. Whoa.
now you see there, Chris, he can't tell from the playfield what his status is. However, he can use the display. He could tell from the display that he had all his locks lit, and he's just jumped into the 3-ball multi-ball on the right ramp.
Now, is this the same multi-ball, or is this
He has
did
2
we get an
stacked
add a
right
ball, or is this a different mode?
This is a second multi-ball that he stacked on top of the first one.
Gotcha.
So he still has lights out running, and
Oh
now
crap!
he
I
has
own
nothing running.
Boston Market now. Oh, I like how
Chickens on Elizabeth.
We really wanted that.
Now, Brian, the chat is mentioning the quad game screen. Lucas Nasser said it's confusing. When you were programming, did you was part of your programming dealing with displays and things like that, and was something like that something that you would think about trying, or?
Yeah, it's actually an interesting question. When I started working on Full Throttle, the timelines probably most people don't know, but I started working on Full Throttle before Wizard of Oz was released, and we decided we were doing a big LCD in the back box, and I had never seen a game with an LCD in the back box, so we really had nothing to go on. We kind of made it up as we went along. We weren't really sure what to do. I actually considered something similar to what Wizard of Oz does and decided it was going to be too complicated and a little risky since it had never been done before. So we kind of stuck to traditional pinball stuff just for safety. But yeah, I did think about that quite a bit.
Since this was like the first Jersey Jack, I'm sure they were just like trying to figure out what kind of display they wanted. I can't remember. Is the Hobbit have a similar display, Lewis?
Yeah, pretty much all the Jersey Jacks use a similar big old TV.
Well, with the quad, like the separation, because I know Dialed In doesn't.
Yeah,
and
Hobbit does.
Pirates doesn't.
What?
Pirates doesn't. Yeah.
What could you possibly put up for like 4 quadrants of Hobbit?
Yeah, I don't.
It was.
Oh, there's a lot.
Modes, Erebor, Beasts, Smog.
Yeah, none of that's interesting.
Yeah, it's a good try though.
Oh shoot.
A for effort.
Yeah.
But
Oh no, it's the dwarves instead of the modes. The modes are on like a little TV on the game.
But speaking of the quad displays, we can see here that his twister is ready. That's starting the modes from the ramp. He also needs only 3 more letters for Scarecrow. His other 2 locks are ready. And hey, we have the twister going now. If he shoots it around that loop enough times, he'll start a Munchkin mode. Now, even though he didn't succeed there, he has enough time to go back up and try to finish it off.
Is it 10 times, I think?
I'm not sure what the number is, but
It's 10 spins. Yep.
okay.
Well, let's take whatever yellow is. It's
Lights
perfect.
on. I still want rainbow.
That is rainbow.
Yes,
Oh,
this is the one you want.
This is the one I want. I can't remember.
It's pretty.
It's so pretty.
So when this first came out,
Also, oh god, my eyes.
this was so awesome. So like,
What's the horse of a different color? What's the horse of a different color thing? That's its own separate mode?
It's it's a bonus to the Munchkin mode. So if you get horses of a different color. Oh gosh, I've got stuck balls. There we go. Yeah, if you have horses of a different color and you shoot behind the flipper next to the wizard.
Nice.
wow, look at that. Oh my gosh.
We have a 5-ball trap.
We've got some sort of master class going on over here on how to separate the
Clip
cradles.
this right now.
Come on, man. Now I'm out 2 Boston markets.
You might you might see jugglers at a pride festival. Lewis is doing his own juggling.
I just wish they had shoes on.
Give me the wizard. Wizard.
Now during all this time, he also started a haunted scoring mode. You can see right here. To get those, you hit the pop bumpers enough time, and then have the ball down here, and we'll start one of those up. This game can have big bonus build-ups based off of the Munchkin modes and the haunted forest modes. So Lewis wants to be careful not to tilt here.
I want to say something. Lewis was trying to shoot the wizard, and since he had the upper flipper up, it went behind it into the plunger lane. And
Into the horses.
that was so funny. I have never seen that, and it was a pure accident.
Yeah, whoopsies.
I forgot that does that, but it's really cool. I can't remember. There's another game that does that where you shoot underneath the flipper. What is it?
Oh, there's a bunch of them now. Well, there's a lot of.
Star Trek?
Well, yeah, Star Trek's the biggest one. Okay, so Lewis has his next multi-ball on the left lid there. If you get through all of the primary ones, the last one is a crossed flipper ones where the left button flips the right flipper and the right one flips the left flipper, similar to the
my
mystery
patience
spot
paid
in
off?
Simpsons. This is a great ball.
So, Brian, what when you were programming Full Throttle, what was kind of your biggest inspiration? What did you look at the most as being something that you wanted to incorporate into your first game?
I don't see this on my map.
Wow, that's a tough question because the way that game was developed was probably different than a lot of other games are made. I didn't. The idea was kind of handed to me what we were going to do. The design team kind of decided, I'd say like 70% of the rules. So that didn't leave me a lot of room for creativity, unfortunately.
Amazing ball, Lewis. Also some amazing juggling skills, and I hope to see that on YouTube soon.
Okay, so if I want to rephrase the question to Brian slightly, what feature from an existing game would you most like to steal and put in your next game? So I know you have a Simpsons Pinball Party, for example. That game I hate it because it mystifies me and I don't understand how to play it, and I've never had a 5-minute game on that game ever. But people love it, and I don't understand why. So explain to me, like, what's for example something that like that game just teaches you to take and put in your next game, in your Price is Right game, which will be amazing.
Ooh, okay, so I should be thinking about this. I don't know. I mean, Simpsons is just it's got a lot of features running at the same time, so there's so many things going on at once, and I mean, part of the challenge of that is just kind of keep track of everything that's going on. I think when you're trying to come up with clever ideas for games, I think you have to take the playfield geometry into effect. Just because any good idea, it might not translate to another machine if the shots aren't there. So I think the coolest features on games are things where you take advantage of something that the shot flow presents to you.
Oh no, Jake didn't save Toto. And if you don't know what that is, when you exit out of the right outlane, you spell T-O-T-O, and then you have one shot to save the ball and to save Toto. And the ramp was lit, and if he hit it in time, he would have gotten a ball save. But he did not, and Toto was gone.
Toto did not escape.
Yeah, this game has two very unique ball save opportunities from the outlanes. You can see on the right outlane, Chris has the first O in Toto lit. Well, actually, now it's cycling, so I'm not sure. He needs to hit one target to spell Toto. Also on the left, there's 5 stand-ups, and then there's a pop bumper right here.
It says there is no place like home.
If you hit all 5, you start a 4-level mode to save your ball that's really hard to complete, but maybe we'll see if someone will have that opportunity.
It's still pretty fascinating to try your best to get there's no place like home. And Jake said he did it earlier, so
He did, I saw him.
We don't know if we'll see it. Maybe we'll see it.
Jake was lying.
Take it away.
Quick shout out to Jared CoolDude34 for the biddies and Twitch. Thank you very much for that. We're glad everybody is on Twitch and on YouTube tonight, joining us as we celebrate Pride Month.
Yeah, happy Pride, guys.
So Brian, do you want to speak a little bit to what Pride means to you? I know it's different for every person who is a part of this community, every person who celebrates Pride. What's it mean for you?
Yeah, I think it's for me, it's like it is for a lot of people. It's a combination of, first of all, celebration, just celebrating life and positive things, and focusing on the positive for a change, especially for young people who are just coming out. It's a really, it's a special time to be able to come out with other people and feel loved. But it's also a time of remembrance of past times and struggles that the gay community has had to go through in the past, and also just to think about current issues that are facing us today and action that we all should be taking.
Beautifully stated, sir.
Okay.
I sign on to everything that you just said.
Everybody who the kind of the stereotypical perception of Pride is it's just one big party, but it's really not like that. I mean, that's certainly part of it, but it's really cool to see people come together that ordinarily would not be together. You see families, you see people of all races, men, women, everything, and everybody's in a good mood. It's an amazing experience.
Is there a big Pride Fest in Boca Raton, or do you travel to a larger city?
So I live about 20 miles from Fort Lauderdale, which has a really large, thriving gay community. So we have a huge Pride Festival that we just had last week or the week 2 weeks ago. So there's events in Orlando, which is not too far from here as well that I go to. So it's a good place to be.
Yeah, I told you I'm super jealous of how often you and your partner Ryan get up to Disney World, because I love me some Disney World. But no, Pittsburgh Pride was the first week of June, and so I went out and participated in both the People's Pride and the regular corporate EQT Pride. But I've also been to Pride in San Francisco, which is a whole other beast entirely. I think their parade starts at 3 in the morning and goes until probably 2 o'clock the next day. It's just an unending parade.
Yeah, I've never done that, but it sounds amazing.
It's fantastic, and I wish everybody could experience it. Tia's started this. Which multi-ball is she in right now?
I forget what the name is, but it's the 3-ball multi-ball for getting all 3 of the characters.
I jinxed her. But I jinxed her, hopefully just short of Boston Market.
It's going to be close. What was Boston Market?
50.
Ah, yes, she.
Oh, Tia gets no chicken.
So close.
They have a 2-for-1 special, so it's not too bad.
Get that back.
Oh my.
Thank you.
Yeah, if we wouldn't have turned that ball saber on, you would have been done.
So there's a question in chat, which is, which machine would you guys want to see made? And Brian obviously already gave us this answer. Pete?
Well, before I give my answer, I want to guess what yours is. Yours is David Bowie.
Yes.
You want to guess what mine is?
No, I don't. I don't have a guess.
My. Mine is Prince.
Oh.
Nice.
I would put them right next to
Always,
each
yeah,
other in my living
always,
room. It would be amazing.
That is my one true love, and it will be a purple game. It will be amazing.
For me, with the Twilight Zone TV show being re-released, I'd love to see another Twilight Zone version, since that's my favorite game.
You're just asking for a remake of an existing game.
Oh, but with all the technology and the toys they have now, can you imagine?
Reboot.
Yeah,
I
not
would
just
like-
a remake, a reboot.
I would like to, I'd like to see a spiral with a gobble hole right in the middle.
Ooh.
Spiral the gobble hole. The pinball narcissist says Black Mirror pinball. That could be cool. It would be very weird. Very futuristic.
All right.
Chris.
First game's done. Looks like Chris is our winner because he's getting to put his name
Chicken
in
dinner.
first.
How do I feel about my chicken dinner? Wonderful. I just want to say, Brian, thank you very much for the code on Full Throttle. It helped me win my very first Louisville Arcade Expo a couple years ago. And I did a lot of work on Full Throttle. So thank you. I love it.
You are welcome.
Okay, while they're busy putting in their initials, we're going to go to our first sponsor of the evening, Pindigo. Pindigo is the premier social score tracking app for pinball players. Save your scores, follow your friends, compare and compete. Available for iOS and Android. Check it out online at pindigo.app. Here is the most recent, most active users and the current trending machines on Pindigo. A lot of people putting in scores for the Black Knight Swords of Rage, Star Wars Pro.
Fury Road. It's called Fury Road. I renamed it. Black Knight Fury Road.
Some of these people need to change their pictures so we know who they are.
So we've got Priyanka is leaving. She's going to go play some Wizard of Oz, and we have stepping into her spot Chris Stevens. Hello.
Hello, Elizabeth.
Hello.
Hello, everybody else. How's everybody doing? Enjoying some Wizard of Oz, I hope?
Yes.
It's playing very mean.
Good.
So Brian, is this playing like it played for you at Pinburg last year?
It looks pretty similar, yeah. That was a pretty good first game, though. I was impressed.
I mean, if you lose with 112,000, you
Scared, huh?
shake your opponent's hands with this one.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
We haven't talked about the skill shots yet. There are 3 of them. 3 of them? Yeah,
3.
3 of them. You see the A's blinking
Actually,
there.
there's 4 of them.
4? Oh, yeah, the witch. There's, 1. There's 2.
I can't see it.
3.
Look
and
harder.
then the in lanes is the 4th. To get the 3 lower ones, you obviously have to soft plunge to the upper flipper. And then the other one is...
Is it just full plunge?
Well, full plunge will be a little bit too much for the top one. However, some people like foregoing the skill shot on the first one and full plunging. There's a little target up here that, well, it's actually
Oh.
draw a better line.
Nudge, pre-nudge. There you go.
Oh, no, but
Right.
I want my ball saved.
Get ready.
If you hit that target, that'll light your
Ooh.
monkey lock.
Like the monkey lock that you can collect from the left or right orbit. Mainly the right orbit. I never really collect the monkey lock from the left orbit.
Yeah,
But
that's
the
pretty
witch,
tough.
The witch.
Oh, the witch said.
Okay,
Drain.
now
I'm
because
gonna melt her.
because of the ball save, Priyanka got her ball back. But if she would drain down the left out lane on the next couple balls, she has that ball save ready. She hit all
She
the
has
targets,
no
but
place like home ready.
since she didn't need it at that point, it didn't give it to her.
So Jake actually owns this game. It's in his house, and he was trying to teach the rest of us how to play it earlier.
He did a good job.
You can really tell how well I am.
That was actually going to be my joke as I stepped up and saying, doesn't Jake own one of these? That's why I want to go second. But I need to make sure I had a good game myself, so I didn't want to take it away. Besides, Jake he's actually beaten me on this game numerous times. So
I also remember a fun story of when Jake first got this and moved it into his house and said that the house sells with Wizard of Oz where it is because his machine is too heavy, it is too wide, I'm never moving this again.
And Jake, is the game still in your house?
It is not. There's now a Pirates of the Caribbean there, and we moved it to the clubhouse.
I just want to point out in the Twitch chat that the Pinball Narcissist says, is Chris Stevens excited for this weekend? And I am most definitely excited for the amazing pinball race this weekend. I just had to bring it up, and I'm
Yes.
very excited. Thank you very much.
We have the
Okay.
amazing race happening in Columbus this weekend.
I can cross that off the list now.
We also have Pintastic happening up in Massachusetts.
The Silver Ball Rumble, Pintastic New England, Sturbridge, Massachusetts, a Stern Pro Circuit event. It is a Papa ticket style qualifying with the top 24 making it to the finals, and one of the games in the bank will be full throttle. So,
Yeah.
any tips for how the players should approach it, Brian?
Well, I think Chris knows the answer to that. You can talk to him. I don't want to give away all my secrets.
Oh, come on. There's got to be one I don't know yet, so.
No, I mean, the basic strategy is just to complete all of the shots and get into stack your multi-balls together for multiplied jackpots.
I'm definitely all about stacking. I think my main way of playing it was trying to treat it like Attack from Mars with the total annihilation by just shooting all the shots over and over and over again until you collect them all.
Yeah, and it's fun to try to get close without just like Attack from Mars. Not start any one of them, but try to hold back a little bit until you have all of them almost ready.
Yeah, definitely. It's really tempting to just pick a couple off and just get to the multi-ball, especially if you step up on ball 3 in a pressure situation and you're like, I have a couple ready, but I'm still close to the other ones.
But the nice thing is you can always bring it in after the multi-ball starts. So
Yeah, definitely.
Kind of torn now, though, because on one hand, I want to see the players do good, but on the other hand, if they're doing good, I'm seeing their names rise above Brian Dominy on the display during the
No.
races, and we can't have that.
No, this is why you always root for the game. You never root for the player.
What are you guys, a tech?
No, I'm a fan of the programmer.
That's true.
I just want to point out that in the YouTube chat, we've got MNM Dezine saying, I'm a fair newbie to pinball, and I find reading and learning the rules challenging. Any advice on how to read rules to better understand the games? I'm going to let Lewis see if he can take this one while he's in the middle of playing.
Okay, so
Keep
what
it
if-
under 3 minutes.
I'll try. Oh, hopefully my ball lasts
Time's
3
up.
minutes. That'd be.
Time's
Aw. Let's see, pinball.org. If you just Google the name of a game and rule sheet,
Right, but he's saying that he finds them difficult to read because they are very dry, and
Yeah.
I'm with him 100% because so here's my strategy: shoot the blinky thing.
That's definitely a good basic.
Yeah.
Whatever's directly up the center, see if you can hit that.
I'm not a big fan of the learning how to stack on top, on top, on top, on top, and no, I just want to.
you just want to shoot things.
Yeah, I want to have fun.
Or you can definitely watch some of the Bowman tutorials if you like.
Yeah.
You can go to the PAPAtv page, and there are some links for some video tutorials.
Yeah, Bowen's videos are good. There's some other tutorials out there. Even just getting some time on the game to see what's going on.
And shooting the blinky thing.
Yeah,
shooting
shoot
the
the
blinky
blinky
things
things, and you'll
over
figure
and
out what the
over.
blinky things do eventually. While seems like the monkeys have captured my ball.
Why would you let them do that? That means you got to tilt.
So there it goes. This is actually a known issue on every Wizard of Oz that I've ever seen, is that the monkeys.
Whoa!
Okay.
See that?
Okay.
The monkeys have a tendency to hold on and not ever release your ball.
Yeah.
Monkeys do like silver shiny things.
But I mean, here's the thing: they have one job. Their one job is to capture that ball. I wouldn't give it back
I
either.
was
Like
gonna
these are
say.
the hardest working monkeys in all of fantasy, and I don't think you should take it away from them.
Yeah, I mean, if they get that ball, you just let the ball search get it
Let
out
the ball
for
search
you.
find it.
You know,
Yeah.
like let the monkeys have what they came down to get.
Oh well.
One job, man.
Hey, I completed the rainbow targets.
Yeah.
It seems like every time players are starting the somewhere over the rainbow ball save, they're draining down the Toto. We're getting both out lanes in each ball.
Yeah, that right out lane is enormous.
One good way to learn games, if you can find somebody with it, is, or if you have the ability to do it, is take the glass off the game and just play around. You hit targets, see what lights, what
yeah,
doesn't.
instead of shooting lit things, just touch lit things.
Here's another really great strategy, and I've only ever heard of one person doing this, and I thought it was phenomenal. And what they did was they had a couple machines in their house. Every game they set to be a one-ball game. Because here's the thing, every game is a one-ball game.
Oh, that's deep.
So
I like it. I like it a
imagine
lot.
having Iron Man set to be one ball every time.
Mm-hmm.
And how would that affect your strategy, and how would you affect, how would that change how you play it? Because you're not going to get a second shot at that.
Well, that's one game I'm playing for one ball anyway.
Yeah,
Right.
You get that do or die.
Yeah, so now just take that and put it on every single game that you have.
But I like wizard modes, Elizabeth.
I'll get it in
I
one
am
ball.
not saying that I love wizard nodes, man. I'm just saying, like, if you want to really learn proficiency at something, teach it, treat it like it's one.
Treat it like it's one.
Trusting the
And then you
post.
will win.
I'm some Yoda stuff over here.
Yes.
You saw there, Jake spelled wizard, and then that scoop there will give you awards. Because we have it set for Pinburg, it's 50,000 points, but on Rada can give you things like light extra ball and some other things.
There's a bunch of fun little targets in this game. Have you pointed out the mystery award up the middle yet?
No, can't say we have.
Go to the aim for that mystery
Yep.
award target.
Right between the two
Right
ramps.
between the right ramp and the vertical up kicker. That'll give you a lot of specialized things. And
Anybody
I like.
knows what lights that? That's
Wait, you
not
don't
a
know?
thing I happen to know
Lewis.
off the top of my head.
Let's see if Lewis knows. Lewis, do you know how to relight the mystery award up the middle, the crystal ball mystery award?
Brian, you have any idea?
Hit the rainbow targets.
Nope.
Hit the rainbow target.
Hit
We
the
just
rainbow target.
figured that out. Cool.
That's what I thought, but I wasn't completely sure. But usually if you have 3 of the crystal ball letters and you hit that, it will award you the final crystal ball letter.
Speaking of crystal ball,
Speaking
Jake
of
has it
crystal
lit
ball, yes.
now.
He is ready to
Come on, flipper transfer and get the
two
multi ball.
Now, I believe we saw the blue one. The blue one is a lights out.
Yeah.
The yellow is the lights on.
Yeah. Now, if he would happen to hit the targets again, the colors will change. One of the great uses of these LEDs.
Oh, you trusted it again.
I shouldn't have trusted.
Never trust a post without a rubber on it, Jake.
Only barely trust the post twist the rubbers on.
Yeah,
them.
that's very, very true. It's like sometimes whenever I play Stern Stars and it's like, you want the ball on the left flipper? You can just drop the flipper and let it bounce off of it to the other flipper. And I'm like, no, not during a tournament.
No.
Tia, favorite Wizard of Oz character, the Wicked Witch.
Also, that'll work on 1 stars, and the stars sitting exactly next to it will not do that at all.
Exactly, every single time. All right, Tia, what are you going to be aiming for us on this ball?
Hurry, I want to get out of here.
Not these drains over.
There? On that side?
Toto?
You don't want the Toto drain?
I don't think so.
All righty.
This game got some great sounds too, like the horse and
Nice.
the sounds from the actual movie.
Yeah, my favorite noises are whenever you're in the mini playfield on the top left and it's going, oh. It reminds me of whenever I was really little and my dad, in order to get me and my brother up the stairs to bed, he would say that, and then we would go left, right, left. That was the only way to get us upstairs to go to bed.
Your dad is awesome.
I know. I should get him on here one day. He might. We'll see what we can do.
So, Brian, you actually got to code for a. We've been ignoring Alien, and I feel that's to our detriment here because this is a, Wizard of Oz was an existing property that they made into a really good pinball machine. Alien, also an existing property, you guys made into a really good pinball machine, and it's a shame that there aren't more of them out there. But can you talk a little bit about coding Alien?
Yeah, Alien was a different experience than Full Throttle because we didn't have as much given to us by the people in charge, so we had to come up with a lot of it on our own, and that was actually a good thing. I think we had a really creative team that came up with some really cool stuff, and it was a fun project to work on. It's a good title, obviously. A lot of people love it.
It's a great title.
Definitely.
You did Full Throttle all by yourself, and Alien was you and Joe Schober, correct?
Yeah, that's right. I had kind of more experience working with the system, so I kind of helped out however I needed to. But Joe was really the kind of the inspirational, coming up with a lot of the clever rules ideas and a lot of the kind of the choreography of all the lights and the sounds and the music. He did a lot of that, so props to him.
Cinch Dinksole in the YouTube chat says that the Alien rules are awesome. So you got his vote.
Most definitely.
Sweet. Thanks, man.
Meanwhile, we've got Lewis lighting his 3rd lock. And he still has his X playfield
I
multiplier.
believe I actually got that to carry in
You
grace
did?
period.
So he's going to have a lights out multi-ball here.
So the light's just going to go right back out. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Bye, ball.
It's like a parent coming in to check on you. You asleep? No. Go to
No.
bed.
Lights
Not
out.
asleep.
Lights out. Oh, he's got his...
The yellow X, which is the super duper X.
Super duper. Let's see if he can get some loops up there for us, Lewis.
I'm going to try.
That house is spinning like crazy. Show crap. I love whenever the lizard...
There we go.
Lizard,
There,
the
see
wizard...
Right there. It
Double
shows.
ball.
Telling you what
Or not
to do.
double ball. Double. Extra ball.
No.
That's going to count.
Here we go.
Everybody should be really glad that Lewis is a tournament director for Pinburg and not allowed to play.
Nope. Never allowed to play. That's why I've been doing so much traveling. Like to make the circuit, but it's hard to do that when you don't get to play Pinburg.
You just have to be keep finishing in the tops of these events, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'll take my advice from the guy who's done it already.
You players at the Silver Ball Rumble this weekend, prepare to deal with this guy.
I'll be there.
Silver ball rumble.
Shoot to the throne room. Sure.
Nice. Points. Do it again. Now what do you have to do? You have to hit a rollover.
Yep, gotta shoot another rollover because I got the Tin Man, his heart. I'd like to get someone their brains or someone their courage.
Get that courage.
I want anything.
Bark, bark, bark.
I can shoot the ramp. That's
still
great.
rolling on lights out because he's still in the multi-ball. He's hitting that ramp over and over. He's trying to graze that scarecrow.
Yeah, I'm trying to
rollover.
get either of the 2 rollovers, but nothing seems to want to go. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Well, that was over one.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
There we go.
Just for the record, I am not buying Lewis Boston Market.
What?
He's not invited.
Why not?
Darn.
Oh, see this on my map.
But I'm still getting Boston Market, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll meet you.
I see Lewis is having a huge multi-ball there. His display up there has everything collected.
All right, now
On to the
it's
next level.
on to the next level, which is center ramp madness. Well, you guys get the center ramp, and then I actually forget what comes next. I think it's throne room over and over again.
Yeah, it's just shoot the ramp, shoot the throne room.
Shoot the ramp,
shoot the throne room.
Big points in this one.
Miss
too.
the ramp.
Oh,
Miss
it's
the
got
ramp
some
some
English.
more.
Come on.
There we go. Okay.
Get it. Oh, that target just gets in the way all the time. Nice bounce over to the flipper that he wants the ball on.
Oh, it's too bad you're having a really good game. I also have a challenge for you.
What? What you got?
Get the game to do the
The multi-drain, he did it.
yeah. I was gonna say,
Congratulations.
I did the multi-drain.
It's
Hooray!
a simultaneous event.
get the I was gonna say get the roll for the no hold flippers where if you shoot the
the no hold?
Into
the
the,
no-
left, the left spinner.
the left spinner over and over
Oh,
again.
that one.
Yeah.
That's a great little trick to this game where basically if you have two balls cradled on the left flipper, if you end up backhanding it into the spinner here, if you do that 3 times, I believe, it'll basically tell you, hey, don't do that again. And then if you do it again, then you can no longer hold the flipper up on your left.
No way.
Because you took advantage of something in the game that it doesn't want you to take advantage of.
Oh, that's spectacular.
No!
No.
I'll give it back.
I believe
No.
whenever we had this in one of the Papa Banks, I saw someone do that, and they thought the game was not working correctly.
Right.
And it's like,
So-
well, actually, that's what's supposed to happen.
Actually, that's a really good question. Really good question for Brian. You coded all of the rules on Full Throttle. Can you play Full Throttle well in competition? Because I have seen Keith Johnson and I have seen Lyman Sheets not play their own games very well in competition sometimes. How does it work for you? Are you good at it?
I mean, I don't have a problem like not thinking about what I did and just playing the game like it should be played. It's not that I'm, obsessing over every little detail and making sure things are working. I mean, you can play the game, but I think sometimes developers probably think the game should be played a different way. And there's a way you intend for the game to work, and then there's the way that people actually treat it in the field. So you have to adjust over time and watch what other people are doing. And you could be wrong. I mean, I've definitely seen people play games that they designed, in a way that I never would play.
Right, and then you can have Keith Owen come in and play your game in a way that you're like, oh, I didn't know it did that. Right? Like, even though I coded
Exactly,
it,
and-
no clue it did that.
You can't predict exactly how it's going to play out once the game is released. So I think that rule about the spinner here on Wizard of Oz was not in the original rules. I think that was something that was added a little bit later.
Now, going off of the question that we had earlier about the player having trouble learning rule sets, being a experienced player that you are you able to come up with a mindset while you're programming for the beginner player? Like the person, what can I program into the game for the person that's every shot's going to be going right up the middle because I just want to keep the ball in play and have fun?
Yeah, I mean, the challenge is to make a game that's going to be fun for everybody. So you have to put something in for the beginners, for the intermediates, and the experts. And that's difficult to do sometimes. But I always start by the games I've done, I start by thinking of the beginner first, and then start working on the more advanced things later on.
That's probably the best way to go about it.
Us non-expert players really appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, even expert players, I mean, they have to start somewhere, and you don't start the game at the wizard mode. You have to build up to that.
Good point.
So is Jake in this Boston Market deal?
I was going to say, he's wizard moding himself.
I mean,
right
that
now.
was
He's doing
basically-
very, very well.
Oh, if it makes him
That
drain,
was like,
then
let's
yeah.
play everything in sequence and
Yeah,
not stack
and not
anything at
stacking.
all. Yeah. It's
But
not
you
exactly the way to do it.
But
Look,
you reached the
guys,
Boston Market score.
the Boston Market thing was for the first game, but I will just buy all of you Boston Market if it makes you stop.
Well, Tia hasn't earned hers yet.
Get it, Tia.
I will give Tia Boston Market before I give any of
red
you dudes
chicken.
Boston Market.
Chicken.
Chicken?
I like her better.
Chicken. Chicken on the line.
Come on, Tia.
Get it.
Chicken.
Okay, so she has one ball locked. She has her second one lit, but she has no progress on the Tin Man yet.
Yeah, that's the situation I was in whenever I started my last ball. No letters on Tin Man. But basically what I did was I started the crystal
That's
ball
coming back.
multi-ball.
Come back.
Maybe.
Started the crystal ball multi-ball and used that to go over the roll. Ooh.
And as quickly as we said, she has no progress on Tin Man. She's 2/3 of the way there.
Lovely.
And now it's done.
Nice save.
2 ramp shots will get her locks.
Got both locks lit on the center ramp.
So Tia had a wrist injury from pinball. She hurt her wrist, and so she proceeded to play in our Bride of PPL Women's League one-handed for at least an entire season, and still kicked my ass at everything.
I don't know about
Oh, yeah. You know
Yeah,
it's
she
true.
did. She really did.
So she, does it mean that she
No,
already...
what I'm saying is that Tia's amazing.
Tia is a fantastic player, and I can't wait for the center ramp to be hit. Hey.
We have a question in the YouTube chat for Brian, which is what language was Alien coded in, and did you start from scratch or with some legacy code foundation?
Alien was actually and Full Throttle were based on. It was written in C, and it was based on some code that I had done before I joined Highway.
We were getting all the code talk these past few weeks.
Yeah.
Last week was assembly. This week C.
I really enjoy hearing about code.
Someday
I mean,
we'll.
I don't know how to do much of it at all, so it's really cool to hear like the depths of what goes into a pinball machine.
Someday we're going to find the person who programmed a pinball machine in Fortran or COBOL, and
I think his name is Lyman, and you can talk to him.
Nice save.
Nicely done,
And
Tia.
Tia is bringing balls back from the post.
So, Brian, do you please tell me that you are a coder who comments their code for other people to follow behind and understand something?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
Do you comment your code?
Of course. Of course.
See, coders that don't comment, I want to slap them.
So I mean, you learn that very early on. You know, you write code, and then 3 months later, you don't remember what you did.
Still?
So it's not just for other people; it's for yourself.
Hear that, kids? Comment your code.
is there a specific programmer that you're talking about that doesn't
What?
comment
No.
their code?
No. Definitely not the chairman of the board of our foundation at all.
No.
Oh, Tia.
Good ball.
Good ball.
Boston Market ball. Lewis has already earned himself some Boston Market 7 times over.
All right. Since Lewis has already blown the game out of the water,
Should we play some no holds?
if you can get it.
I'll try.
When I was after college, I was everyone knows my love for gladiators, and I saw
not
that
what I
there
wanted.
was a bar that had it, and it was Pegasus.
Pegasus.
Yes, for those not familiar, Pegasus was a gay bar in Pittsburgh.
Ah, okay.
That's
Now,
been gone for a while.
That's a long
Yeah.
time. So
Nope.
So Pegasus had a gladiator pin?
yes, it was leaning way to the right, which didn't seem right for a gay bar, but
No. Definitely should lean to the left.
Player 2.
Enter your
Are locations catering towards the LGBT community, are they utilizing pinball as, or even video games, as something to draw in the crowd?
What, in Pittsburgh?
Anywhere. Brian wants to add to this question.
I mean, there's not a lot of location play in Florida, so it's definitely not happening here. I don't know about other places.
Why do you think there's not a lot of location play in Florida?
I think it's my opinion, but I think a lot of people are focused on outdoor activities here.
That sun is, that's what you call it, right? That big thing in the sky. It's a sun. Is that right?
Yes, in all capital letters, sun.
S-U-N. I can spell other things too. I can spell Comet, C-O-M-E-T. Comet Pinball has the largest selection of lighting products for your pinball machines. LEDs can brighten up your game while reducing heat and power consumption. Whether you're a collector, operator, restorer, or mod maker, you'll always find low prices, fast shipping, and great service with Comet Pinball. You can check them out at Facebook, facebook.com/CometPinball, Twitter at twitter.com/CometPinball, or even on Instagram at instagram.com/CometPinball.
That was a seamless transition, sir.
Oh, I'm getting
Nicely
really,
done.
really good at this. You want to see another
Nicely
seamless
done.
transition?
Sure.
Pete out, Lewis in.
Nice.
What's up?
Hey, look at that. That's fancy. So we've got PD up at the plate here. He's going to try his hand at some Wizard of Oz.
After all, seeing all that excellent play from the rest of you, I'm nervous.
You should be, because I want to see you do something we haven't seen yet.
What's that?
I don't know. You tell me. What can you do?
I can drain off the plunge.
Horses?
Yeah, go for the
as an
horses of
option.
different
we
colors.
we haven't seen the multi-ball you get from the monkeys and spelling rescue. We haven't seen rescue multi-ball, so that would be a good option. Other than that...
How about trying to catch the ball horribly?
Next ball. Next ball.
Oh, man. We've got the Cinch Dang Soul Slam. We've got 3 pins at the Gay Bar in Vancouver, which is the Pump Jack. They've got a Game of Thrones, a Tron, and a Metallica.
Nice.
Those are some amazing titles. I definitely would go anywhere for a good pin. So who wants to go to Vancouver? Huh? Anyone?
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I'm
might
in.
be in.
Canada. Love it.
Totally do that.
Ooh. I thought she,
Yeah,
she
nice-
flipped into
nice
Toto, but
save.
she saved it.
All right.
So what
do you
looks
guys
looks
think?
like you're aiming for something here. What are you thinking? You already got Boston Market.
Well, I would like to get. I would like to get back up here.
All right. And how do you do that?
Well, there.
You go straight up there. There's a henchman in the way. I
Lewis
forget
is
what his
gonna
name is exactly.
Illustrate for us a little bit here. You got that
You
shot?
got a drop target in the way. Knock down the drop target, and you can enter behind him. That will.
I
pick
also
you
haven't
up
been
top.
able to use this flipper yet.
Oh, the little mini flipper
Yeah.
on the around the
I'd like to
the
make
house
that
there.
happen.
Well, there'll be time for that. Let's see you knock down some henchmen. There you go. She is now up top. Spelling rescue. Now this is this can give you some interesting concepts whenever you're up at the upper playfield, because you can basically decide how many balls you lock before you start the multi-ball. Now, first and foremost, you can lock a ball by the monkeys coming down and grabbing it, as we've seen. Or we can see you can spell rescue and lock a ball behind the doors, but you have to knock on the doors, open the doors, and then shoot the ball in behind the doors to lock that ball. And then, if you spell rescue again, or if you just knock on the door, I believe, you can basically start the multi-ball. Or you can spell rescue again, knock down the door again, lock another ball, and I believe the maximum is a 4-ball multi-ball.
You don't have to.
Lewis,
You don't have to
correct?
put it into the hole to lock it. You just have to send
Or
it around that
the
inside loop.
That's
yeah.
right. Thank you. I'm trying to remember. It's been a while since I've gotten that deep in this game. I really have not the best luck whenever I play this, unfortunately.
All right. So now that I have a moment to actually sit down and talk and not think about pinball, at least directly.
This is going to be dangerous.
Ooh. Hey, Brian. Really excited to get to actually play another full throttle in a competition at this weekend's Sturbridge Silver Ball Rumble at the Pintastic New England. Probably one of my favorite games to actually play in a tournament. I played it in Papa C Division qualifying a few years ago when I won it at Papa 19.
Nice. That's really good. I'm glad to see it in competitions again. It's there's not many of them out there, so it's kind of impressive to be hearing positive comments about it again.
Yeah, it's actually shout outs to the guys up at the Sanctum who have a really nice copy that they've pretty much built specifically to run long playing tournaments on. I'm really excited
Yes.
to get to see this game again and get to see just the entire weekend of match play qualifying run through it.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Have fun. I will be watching that myself.
Yeah, it's definitely a good time. I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to say.
I do want to point out some of the fantastic nudges and flips that we're getting from Priyanka, as she is currently in somewhere over the rainbow. This is the one but that'll do it. Sorry for jinxing you there.
It's okay.
The time was running down a little bit.
Yeah, it was tough.
Yeah, it's that top target or two, which PD's conveniently lit for us, is always a very difficult set to get.
What I like?
You lit the RA in Rainbow.
Oh, cool.
Raw.
Now, a cool feature about this game is if the ball goes into the pop bumpers, you can actually hold both flipper buttons in, and it will stop the pops from firing. Did you know that, Pete?
Yeah. Did you see me do it on the plunge?
Exactly. But I think it's really clever because sometimes it's really difficult to get the ball to land in the little...
No, that's trouble.
Oh, look at that! Oh. It's hard to get the ball to go all the way down and basically land in this saucer through the pops. But if you hold the flippers, it has a much better chance of bouncing off the top of the left, bouncing off the side of the right, and basically making its way down to the bottom left where that saucer is to basically get your haunted scoring, get a haunted mode, and get a nice safe feed to the lower left flipper.
Thank you, Wizard.
Wizard says, here's some plans. And then Toto, bark.
Toto is wise.
All right.
He's got the crystal ball lit. And
the best crystal ball, too.
2.
Okay, what's the red one? Because I don't remember.
Shoot it and we'll find
I
out.
thought it was yellow. Is it yellow or is it red?
That is red.
Oh, my eyes are terrible.
No, the yellow was just before.
All right.
That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. Pops are right back into the Wizard. There it is. I
And
believe red is weak flippers.
no. Hold.
No, hold flippers.
Ah, the best.
Finally. Yeah, PD doesn't trap anyway, so this would be like normal play. Now the thing about that I have trouble when it comes to weak flippers is I use my flippers as a means of catching the ball in control, but with no hold flippers,
Yeah, now I have...
you kind of can't do that.
Now you've become a complete flow player with.
Yeah, oh,
Look
good.
at
Real
that.
smart.
Look
Start
at
the other
that.
multi-ball. Real
Beautiful.
smart.
Nice save. Dang, man.
He's also got his ponies ready as Cinch Tank Soul in the YouTube chat. So if he can shoot that shot underneath his right lower flipper.
Yeah, yeah. With no hold flippers, that's gonna be easy.
Just dead bounce it. Looks like one of the balls that plunge actually claimed the horses for him, so he's good.
So he's awesome.
Thank you.
Now get some more horses.
He's very close to some Boston market himself. This is Petey's first game.
I'm pretty sure he just quite jumped that Boston
He
market in one
definitely
shot.
just jumped it. But he still can't hold. This is definitely an exciting mode if you're not used to
Yeah.
it, because it just kind of makes you like a little more alert.
Oh, yeah. So, Brian, what's it like to code something like this with no hold flippers and even a way to relight the hold?
Oh, I mean, that's not that difficult to do, I don't think. Is that... What do you think?
Are you, when you do it, are you thinking about how mean you're being to the player?
I think so. I think you're usually thinking about doing mean things to the player. You don't want to make it too easy.
Yeah, I heard an anecdote from Lexi Lightspeed's development this weekend about how one of the modes was too easy, so they decided, you know what, let's just put no hold flippers on it and see how it goes.
Oh yeah, is that the old bullseye?
Yeah.
Fire and range. I'd say if Pete had a bullseye right now, it's that right ramp.
Hey, there it is.
Got a ball locked. If he can hit that again, he's got his rainbow letters ready, so he can start his twister. Oh, here it is, a twister.
1, 2.
One,
Nope.
two. Oh,
Doesn't
no,
get around
that's-
twice.
Yeah,
Nope.
say
Gonna have
holding it like that is not the best.
So, another fun fact. Also, thank you to Mr. Wonka in the YouTube chat with the $2.
Mr. Wonka says, shut up and take my money.
You will gladly take that money.
But we will definitely not shut up as we talk about pinball. Unless
Finally.
you don't enjoy these amazing voices discussing the fun that we're having playing on Papa TV.
Indeedy.
But yes, definitely. Thank you, Mr. Walker. Glad to have you in the chat.
Yeah.
And glad you're having a good time.
Yeah, as I was saying, though, you could actually fight Glinda's power with the mystery target. If you're in a ball mode and you've already gotten your Add-a-Ball, that mystery target will actually turn off the effect for a few seconds.
Really?
So, like, the lights will come back on, the flippers will hold.
Correct me if I'm wrong. That Glinda target that you just highlighted
Yes.
is just a post that also does something. It's not. You're not shooting a lock. You're not shooting. It's just a thing that if you're me, you accidentally hit when you're trying to hit the thing next to it.
Oh!
Oh!
Nice.
Sorry.
Yeah, yes, Elizabeth. It is indeed just a stand-up target.
So, first of all, I am a big fan of any programmer that puts points on the random things that I'm going to hit when I'm not hitting the thing I want to hit.
Oh, yes.
But second of all, that's especially mean right there if it switches things in the mode because I'm not hitting the right thing.
Maybe that target is the right thing, Elizabeth.
I will guarantee you right now, CDs, that I have never once aimed for that, and I've also never once missed it.
You're just that good. you just earned yourself some Boston Market. Woo! Paid for by you.
I'll take myself out.
Yeah.
Paid for it, yeah.
You know what, Elizabeth? Take yourself out for Boston Market and take a selfie because you look good,
I
too.
deserve it.
Good stuff. The one thing I've noticed whenever I've played this game is there are some feeds that you get that look dangerous, but there are some parts to the game that kind of help you out. Like if you go up that center ramp and it doesn't go up all the way, when it comes back down, if it's kind of aiming towards the center, it has a really good chance of hitting that scarecrow rollover, which kind of directs it to a flipper, which is kind of nice. And there's a little close-up of the ball, the crystal ball targets.
And the crystal ball itself.
And the lovely crystal ball itself.
Some of the...
He's trying to save Dorothy right now. Go away.
Don't do it.
Oh.
And Dorothy says, go away.
Look at those haunted shots.
1,000 points worth of
Those
haunted
are some
shots.
scary points. Scary.
That was a bonus.
Big bonus for Pete. And we've got Jake stepping up. You don't really have much progress, Jake. Let's change that.
I mean...
Oh, wait.
Somebody almost played out a turn and got a DQ.
So Jake has less progress.
Wow.
Is what
Let
I'm
me
hearing.
change that. Let me reiterate that.
We're
Tia,
doing great up
Tia.
here.
Jake is now at negative progress.
Tia, you don't have much progress. But Jake now owes you Boston Market.
Tia, do you think you could play this one-handed? I mean, at this point, you can literally play anything one-handed, right?
Yeah, for real.
Pretty much.
Now, do you feel like by playing
wide, though.
one-handed, it helps improve other skills?
I think the big argument is that it improves your dead bouncing, right?
Oh, definitely.
Brian, do you ever play one-handed?
Yeah, occasionally.
So it's just fun.
I mean, it's a challenge in itself. I actually like to play one-handed as I'm warming up because it kind of helps me get into the game and kind of read the bounces better. I don't need two hands whenever I'm practicing for a tournament. You know, it's like, I'm going to go one-handed. It wakes me up if it's the first game I've played after
That's how I feel about driving. I don't need both hands.
Yeah, you know?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Overrated.
I mean, if I'm only using my left hand, though, I'm kind of done. I can't even open a cabinet with just my left hand. It's dangerous. Ooh, I thought that was going to bounce over, but she
Nice.
got it right
That was
back
gorgeous.
in. From the in lane to the upper lane. Well, she's got the Wicked Witch counting down, and she's probably going to... Oh, nails it. She got a little melted action going on.
Yep, one of the finished up the first of the witch modes towards Fireball Frenzy.
Fireball Frenzy is a pretty fun mode.
Yeah. And plus, if you've done everything right, you can actually get to try to melt her.
You can melt the witch.
That is honestly one of the more satisfying mini wizard modes. Just that last shot, the whole sequence.
Yeah, the melting. Gotta love it.
So there's a question in the chat, in the YouTube chat from Jared Stevens, which is there a couple of ways, or are there a couple of ways to late the extra ball in this game, or is there only one?
Let's see. Fireball Frenzy, Horse of a Different Color, 10 Yellow Brick Roads, Mystery.
So there is more than one, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, you can even get up to, like, depending on the settings, I believe I saw 5 from Fireball Frenzy alone.
Ooh. Jake, what do you think? Extra balls, love them, hate them?
I like them.
You like them on Waz?
Yeah.
Well, this is set up pinball
I mean,
cards, so
would,
I don't
would
think
set
there
it
are
up for
extra
one. No,
balls
there aren't.
on.
I got one in the
Yeah.
last game. I got a yellow brick road.
Yeah, you got your
One.
15,000 points.
Let me ask you, Brian, do you know sort of the history of why gay culture latched on to the Wizard of Oz so much?
I don't know the whole story, but I do know that like Judy Garland was always very popular with gay men. I mean, going back a long time ago, and then I think the storyline about leaving home. There's no place like home. A lot of sentiment there. I think that resonated with a lot of people, and also like the Magic City with the the rainbow lights and flying monkeys. I mean, who doesn't love that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
that was a bad choice.
And who doesn't hate an outline?
Who doesn't hate a pop-up into the Toto lane during the balls?
Not even a lit Toto lane.
Yeah.
A no place like home Toto
You
lane.
get no letters, Jake.
You hold on to that puppy and then you realize you're not going home.
Well, Priyanka steps up, and she currently has
No
the
points.
the lock lit
Woo!
for the Cowardly Lion.
I told you, he's the best.
Where's that lock at, CDs?
That lock is dead center. Lewis will help me out here. Thank you very much. You can lock your balls for the main multi-ball on the ramp after you hit all the rollovers. Ah, that looked dangerous.
Oh,
Come
that
on.
was terrible.
Yeah.
Bad game. Not bad, Priyanka. Bad game. That was awful. Stupid post.
Hey, we actually have a cheer from Gray Bear Rules. Thank you for the 100 biddies. I believe that's 100 biddies.
Was that on the Twitch chat?
That will be in the Twitch chat, yes. We got PD stepping up. Oh, it starts as multi-ball. Well, now that Pete's in a multi-ball here, this is where we can get some points.
Hey,
Yeah, because
Lewis,
he doesn't have any right
He
now.
He doesn't have enough.
I mean,
that's the way
Pete,
it has to be.
Pete sucks. Let's be
He
honest.
does
This is
not
a
have
terrible
enough.
score.
Actually, I'm trying to use this multi-ball just to get the crystal ball targets.
Yeah, get
I want to
the
see if I can get
targets.
the no-hold flippers.
And hey, we've got
you
another
already
Or not the
cheer.
no-hold, the reverse.
We have another cheer in the Twitch chat from Andrew P. Bentley. Thank you very much for the 50 biddies, buddy. I like to think that's for cheering on the 50,000 points needed to get Boston Market from Elizabeth.
Or the 50th anniversary of the Stonewall riots.
Oh
That is
yeah.
absolutely correct. I actually like that better.
Wow, that was an awesome sequence.
What? I blinked. What did I miss?
Lazarus, and then the flail away hit the Atta-ball.
What?
Look at this.
What is with you?
Excuse me.
Oh. As you can see,
Excuse
Pete likes cheers.
This
Goodness.
sequence is just nuts.
This is fantastic.
So now we're in Over the Rainbow again.
We're back into the crystal ball,
Yep.
multi-ball,
And he's also just got the ball save back from No Place Like Home.
the ball save for no place like home.
So now PD did just hit the Glinda target, which stymies the witch. So you
Yes.
can see the playfield.
You can see the playfield for a little bit,
And now it's gone.
and it goes in. We've got another from Andrew P. Bentley with a 50 biddy saying, keep it up.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hey, as long as he can keep up this multi-ball,
Well, I'm out of
Which
multi-balls.
unfortunately is over.
which is over. But yes, thank you very much for the cheers. We're glad you're enjoying hanging out with us on Tuesdays. Or those that are rewatching, just glad to be able to put out some fun entertainment for everybody. Pete going up the top roller was giving himself a multiplied X for his bonus.
Wow.
If we can see some rescue, I'd be very happy. But I mean, I've seen enough very awesome things from Pete on this ball.
I mean,
honesty,
Pete is the master of trusting that center post, even when it has no rubber on
it's
it.
got nothing.
Come on, get that last target.
Come on,
B.
that lower target
Oh, wait, Glinda.
is so
Glinda.
hard. Maybe
Glinda.
Glinda
What
help you
target?
out?
What's the lower target?
The
Show
lower
me
target is the B. Can we get a little love from the
little arrow there?
Right
All right.
there. Let's
That
some
little
arrow
blinking
action.
bee.
It betrayed by your post.
It came up, but I had the flipper in the wrong place.
Into
But
the post it says
336, I'll take that.
that was
That's a good
beautiful
game.
Well done, sir.
Cinch Dank Soul says Pete's style is perfect for this game. Nudge often and blast away. I have to agree. It's very fun to watch too.
Oh, yes. Yeah, getting to actually
One-handed?
meet and play with Yoshihiro Fujisawa this weekend. He was on an Addams Family that was absolutely evil, just relentlessly blasting away with shots that nobody else was even trying. He was taking forehands to like the chair.
Oh,
Nobody was even thinking about the chair.
I love seeing people do that.
Oh, it was fantastic.
Man, that post hates everyone who is not named Pete.
Well, on the Addams Family, do they happen to have the magnets disabled?
They did have the magnets disabled.
Why would they do such a thing?
Well, Chris, I believe a few years ago, you were trapping up and timing those out. So
yes,
I don't think anybody wanted to keep them on after they found that one.
it kind of makes me sad because I love the magnets.
Well, that's an improbable
that
shot.
is how you.
That's how you get
capture
some
Dorothy
monkeys.
right there. That's how you get the monkeys down. People say they monkey around. You've only got one target left to light rescue. That'll do it. You can shoot the ball in behind the door. Locks the ball.
Or you can take the loop to add a ball.
So, Brian, what was your final score on this in round 9 of Pinburg last year?
Oh, I don't even remember.
That good, huh?
Oh, that had to be a
I
memorable
mean, it
experience.
was. I don't know. We don't record scores, do we?
We do on paper, but I'm not digging through that, man.
No, it's not worth it.
Too bad.
Too bad.
How many digits were in the score?
I think it was 5. I hope it was 5.
Was it enough for some Elizabeth Boston Market?
I'm gonna say no.
Oh. Well, we got Priyanka stepping up. She's got some locks lit. Beautiful. Nice up the center ramp. I want to see a multi-ball here. Priyanka's got some excellent.
Don't
cradling.
put pressure on me.
Okay, I don't want to see a multi-ball here. How do I not take away the pressure? I don't know.
Just say you're sorry. Just say you're sorry and
I'm
move
sorry. Moving on.
Moving on.
That ramp has been incredibly hard to hit. Like,
know.
it's just a little maybe too inclined.
She makes it look easy, though.
Yeah.
Toto! Oh,
Toto!
It's Toto time.
Toto time.
Oh, Toto.
Okay, there's no pressure here, though. It's okay. There's no pressure.
So when Toto escapes, you want to hit the blinky flashy thing.
Yes.
Right up the middle.
And if you don't hit that
Just
one
like that.
shot, then you lose, like the flippers die and you lose your
You
ball.
lose your ball, and it counts your bonus.
Yep. Well, first of all, it drains the ball so you can think about what you've just done.
Yeah.
And then
By
it counts your
not saving
bonus.
Toto.
Oh, man, you put it like that. That's brutal.
Oh, no. Toto's
Exhausted,
exhausted.
Toto.
Yeah.
I mean, I might be exhausted if I jump out of a moving bike.
I mean, Toto ran all the way home.
All the way
player
home. Hey, high score
one.
number 2. You are the Yeebeer champ.
Yellow Brick Road.
That sounds much better than Yeeber.
Yibber. Follow the Yibber.
Well, look at that. Oh, no, wait.
Yeah.
Pride gets a credits. All right, so we're going to have that be our final round of the Wizard of Oz. So next up, what do you guys say? how about we check out a fantastic advertisement from one of my favorite advertisers?
I love it.
Pinstadium.
Let's do it.
The wait is over. A revolution in LED lighting for your pinball is finally here. Fully customizable, full spectrum lighting from Pinstadium Lights. Order yours now at pinstadium.com.
So, while they're changing out games here, but talk a little bit more with Brian Dominy, and we're getting ready to move in Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know it had a longer name, did you?
It does.
Oh, it does.
It definitely does. I mean, I've called it its fair share of names, I'm sure, but both good and bad. But I'm a huge fan of Captain Fantastic. Every time I play it, I played it for dollars. I've played it for points. I played it for whoppers. It's just a game.
Do you ever just play it for fun?
Yeah.
And that too, surprisingly.
Surprisingly.
I do play games for fun, not just Boston Market.
So, Brian, are you a big fan of Captain Fantastic?
I am. I remember playing it at Pinburg last year, just wandering around. Actually, was it in the free play area or not? Maybe I played it after the tournament was over. But
I have no idea which game
It might have
it's
been.
not.
I think it was in Pinburg. I'm trying to remember.
I feel
So
like I played it last year, but
Captain Fantastic is 1976 Bally. It is loosely based on Tommy, which I'm not sure how that works because there's a totally separate Tommy
Totally separate.
machine that's nothing like this. And speaking of Pinburg, whether or not this was in Pinburg last year, none of us can remember, but Pinburg happens at our favorite of all of the shows, Replay FX.
Love it.
Replay FX is August 1st to the 4th this year here in lovely Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We've got thousands of games. We've got stormtroopers doing dance-offs. We've got the world's largest pinball tournament. This year it's got that might actually be Steel Samurai. I'm sorry if I'm getting that wrong. But
I believe
that
that
is also
is.
a fantastic band name.
Yes. We have so many amazing concerts, games. The venue itself is amazing. Like,
It's fun
seriously.
for all ages, all families.
I do find it kind of funny that I feel like we're trying to make it sound as great as it is, but we really don't need to say much. It is that great.
Yeah.
But I do love talking and spreading the love for Replay FX.
And
Definitely
Brian, you
come
come up
down.
every year. Tell us how much you love it.
I've been to every Pinburg and every Replay FX. I wouldn't miss it.
Excellent. I'm the same way. A little bit less travel time for me, though, thankfully.
Yeah, I just booked my flight a couple weeks ago. Everything is set, ready to go.
Nice.
It's not that far.
Excellent.
Which
I can
hotel you
smell
at?
it already.
Which hotel did you get a room at?
The Courtyard.
Nice.
Courtyard by
Nice.
Marriott.
There are several hotels very nearby. We still have rooms available at the Omni. If you're looking into getting our room block, you can definitely check that out. We're also looking for volunteers. So if you don't want to play, and if you're not playing in Pinburg, let's say you signed up for the wait list and there's no chance of you getting in, volunteer, come help out. Spend a couple of hours. We'll give you free stuff and free entry, and it's a ton of fun just to help out.
Oh, definitely. We actually have an interesting question in the YouTube chat from Susie Sprankle. It says, "Happy Pride, y'all. What's the best way to get prepared for tournaments?"
Oof.
Brian, you think you want to take a stab at this one? How do you prepare for a tournament?
I think everybody's different. I used to prepare a lot more than I do now. I find for something like Pinburg or Replay FX that you really want to be well rested and kind of come in with a plan, know what you're going to do in your off time, because you're going to want to rest up and eat well and things like that. People don't think about that, but it's over the course of 2 days. That's really important.
What's your trick
really-
for treating your feet at Pinburg, because it's exhausting? People tell me
Yes.
walking on all of that
it's
concrete.
definitely exhausting.
Do you have
Yeah.
tips or tricks?
I mean, definitely wear good shoes. There's places nearby that you can buy good insoles if you need them, because I've done that. And sit down as much as you can. I mean, there's chairs around, and don't stay any more on your feet than you have to.
I definitely have to agree that is a great way to prepare for a Pinburg. And I'm definitely the same way. Well rested, eat well, stay off your feet as often as possible. And but I hope everyone is on the edge of their seat, at least for this fun, exciting game of Captain Fantastic.
And the Brown Dirt Cowboy.
And yes, I forget that every time. I apologize.
Somebody's got to explain to me who the Brown Dirt Cowboy is in this because I have no idea. Yeah.
I have no.
Oh my goodness. That tournament is actually held right on 6th Street, which is one of Austin's essentially it's the Bourbon Street of Austin. So at one end is Buffalo Billiards, where the venue is. So when you come out in the evening, the road's closed off. There's live music in about 2 or 3 every second and third building. But it's just fantastic, for lack of a better word. No pun intended. It was one of the most unique experiences I've had playing in a pinball tournament, just coming out every night and just seeing the sights. I thought I'd be prepared with the South Side here, which is notorious for a lot of the same things, but I was nowhere near prepared for.
Replayfx.org/volunteer and fill out the form. And Virginia, lovely Virginia, who's been helping to coordinate all of the volunteers this year, will be in touch with you. There's lots of questions there, like what days you can work, what you're most interested in helping out with. We want to make sure that it's a good time for the volunteers as well as for the attendees. So take a few minutes and fill that out.
And look at that. Beat Tessier with the assist of the night, dropping a link for everyone to check out.
Nice.
Thank you very much.
So let's take a look at this game real quick. This center thing here, if you hit that, that's going to open your gate down here.
Only when it's lit.
When it's lit, obviously, which the slings are going to change. You want to knock down your drop targets over here.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, you got your rollovers.
Those lovely star rollovers.
And that's about it. It's a pretty simple game.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely... Oh, she almost got it out of there. But it's definitely a very simple game. My strategy every time I play it is just keep going back up top, keep trying to collect lit rollovers, keep trying to collect A and B to light the double bonus, and then once I finally have a double bonus maxed out, then I would be tempted to go for those drop targets on the left that you pointed out.
So there's also some interesting history to this game, which is that there are a certain number that were made with some, let's say, uncensored back glasses.
Really?
Yeah, this is a Python Angelo original. And he is known for some eccentric art.
The ones that have the more rare black back glasses apparently also have the more rare orange star rollovers instead of the green.
Oh. I did not know that.
The internet is a wonderful place.
And so is our stream. It's a great it's a great way of getting some information, right? Meanwhile, we've got Pete now has his gate open on the bottom right because he went down the lit center lane up top, and now he's working on building up some big bonus.
So now, how's he building up his bonus?
He's building up his bonus by hitting drop targets and going...
You get a lit rollover, and you can just land it right into a lit lane.
So, Brian, you said that you like this game. Do you like EMs in general, or is this just a particularly good one?
I mean, I like all kinds of games. What I like about this game the most is probably the left flipper configuration with the gap in between.
Yeah.
I love games that have that.
Yeah, because you're not used to seeing it, and you're used to being able to stop and cradle that. And then more than one time, I've been faced with that on a game and then gone to cradle and totally lost my ball.
Yeah, it totally changes the way you approach the game.
It is. I know this.
Hey, Priyanka, did you know that
this.
Captain Fantastic
I know this.
is not the full name of the game?
It's Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy.
And again, waiting for
says it
somebody
on
to
the
point out who
We're
the Brown
waiting,
Dirt
yes,
Cowboy
yes,
is.
yes.
Sorry, did I ruin it?
No.
Okay, so apparently Bernie Taupin, the lyricist, is the Brown Dirt Cowboy.
Gotcha.
Oh, thank you for.
Nice!
Oh.
That was Senior Cranky Pants in the Twitch chat.
I'm trying not to tilt it, and I keep on tilting
You're
it.
2 for 2 on tilts.
Well, you're trying to save it, so we give you more than a pass.
So Brian mentioned the unique flipper configuration on the left there, where you've got the double flippers and there's a gap where you basically can't hold it. And that leads me to want to talk about
Chicken.
the
So
Flip Off Alzheimer's
do I get
tournament.
chicken? If
Oh, yes.
There's no chicken betting on this. But I want to talk about Flip Off Alzheimer's tournament that happened last Friday. We had that at Kickback Pinball Cafe, and the game was Doodlebug.
Doodlebug.
Which you can also not trap up on because there's just nothing but a gap there. But we raised some great money. Amy Cabell-Murthy raised some great money for Alzheimer's research.
No.
She's we raised about $2,400 on Friday. They're still looking to finish off the month of June with a few more donations. They're trying to reach 3,000. So we'll see if we can put that up in the notes for the show. Anybody who would still like to donate, more than welcome and happy to have you.
Definitely. I'm very happy to say that I went and played a couple rounds of the Doodlebug.
How was the Doodlebug playing?
It was doodling all right.
It was hard.
It was very hard.
Producer Evans over there doing a thumbs down.
My total game time was 17 seconds.
That's
my total game
impressive.
time was 64 seconds.
So I fell somewhere between Pete and CDs.
Which is a good spot to be.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
So I had the longest ball time on
You had the longest ball
Doodlebug.
time. How long was your ball time? Do you
You
remember?
won the entire
it was
tournament.
No, I took second
John
place.
Raplogel.
John Ron.
Ah.
He was looking while I had that one good ball.
Oh, I
But
see.
I had a house
So
ball
what was
after the
your-
good
what
ball.
was
I had
your
a
game time?
1 minute 19 second ball on Doodlebug. I got the post up, and you're not allowed to just idle on the post.
No. So for anybody that's not aware of this very unique tournament format that Amy Cabell-Murthy has come up with, it's the Alzheimer's Association does the longest day because living with Alzheimer's is like living the longest day of your life, constantly. So she has come up with this tournament format where your goal is to have the longest combined ball time across 3 balls. We're not looking for score. There's a nice volunteer with a stopwatch who is going to stand there and count. If you, this is the 3rd year, and this year was Doodlebug, but previous years had Miss O and Spanish Eyes, and you could trap up on those. Doodlebug has that center post that pops up, and you
Yes.
could trap up there. And when that happens, you have 5 seconds, and everybody in the place will start to chant.
Counting down.
5, 4, 3, 2,
2.
and then you have to flip it away, or else your game is over.
Otherwise, it is it.
And it's a really unique format. As Jake just told you, he took 2nd place with 1 minute and 19 seconds worth of 3 ball time.
No,
So-
that was the
That was-
single ball.
that was
that
the
was my
best
single
ball.
longest ball.
Single ball.
So his single ball was
Jeez Louise.
13 seconds more than my best game time.
Yeah.
So that has to tell you, that has to say something as to how well he played. And I mean, he was having one amazing ball right there. Double bonus maxed out. That's a 30,000 point bonus. Ding, 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 ding. I love doing that. And that was a great play, great, fantastic play.
Was it a Captain Fantastic play?
It was
not
a
gonna
great
tilt this
Captain
time.
Fantastic play. All right, Priyanka, your goal is to not tilt.
Don't tilt. Don't tilt. Don't tilt.
Here's a nice shot of the upper playfield, if you will. Now, what oh, she tilted.
Nope.
No, she didn't.
She got the ding.
I
She got
did
the
not
ding.
got the
tilt.
ding.
I got my bonus.
What ultimately alternates the A and B lanes being lit versus the center lane up top being lit, as there are a couple switches on the rubbers up top. Lewis, if you can help me out and point to the rubbers that would have them.
Ah,
You got
the
a rubber
magical
on the
10-point
left
switches.
and the rubber on the right. Basically, that will fire off the alternating relay, which alternates from some things being on and some things being off. As you can see, the in lanes on the outside up top are currently lit. But if she were to hit one of those 10,000 point switch hits,
Oh!
10,000 point.
10-point switch hits, that will ultimately alternate it. Oh, she's making save after save.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that flipper button on that save was a 10,000 point switch hit, but
Yeah, that was fantastic. I've been saying that a lot recently. Don't know why.
Oh, no.
Oh. It had to find the center one way or another.
Yup.
To you.
And that's just a good principle to know on a lot of classic games. If you've got 10-point switches or some low value, and you've got things that alternate on the game, those are probably going to be the things that swap for you.
Yep. If you're looking to light something that was once lit, but because you hit something that didn't seem that important, try hitting it again, and it will relight something else, I'm sure.
Yeah. Even you could see it today on games like Beatles, where I've seen players deliberately shoot the sling to try to change where the extra ball lane is.
Ooh.
I remember
some center lane action.
So now his gate is open.
Gate is now
And
open.
his bonus is doubled.
His bonus is now doubled. Now he wants to be hitting some lit star rollovers. They're not lit.
No.
Oh, nice.
That's why you don't use that flipper.
Yeah, I avoid using the upper flipper whenever I can on games like this because
On route, the drop targets are your extra ball and your special, but if you're playing in a tournament, that's worth nothing. So
yeah, I mean, it's
no
just
real reason to use
no
that
real
flipper.
reason to risk it.
Not even a few pity points for the special, huh?
No pity
Nope.
points.
Just a click and a smile.
So is there nothing that will close his gate?
If you end up going through the gate, you will close the gate.
So you need to wait for 3 ball searches, sir, and then
1, 2, 3.
Aw.
Is that good?
Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, 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 ding.
Open the game.
We've got some hand waves from Will David in the YouTube chat. Hello, Will. Welcome aboard. Playing some Captain Fantastic. I'm Chris Stevens, and in the broadcast booth, I'm joined with Lewis Bevins and Elizabeth Cromwell.
And I believe still on the line, we've got Brian Dominy.
Yes, sir. Hello, everybody.
Hello. And we're just enjoying some Captain Fantastic. Currently going through a little TD help here. We're getting a tech.
Yeah, well, we have a second. Brian, what's your classics game du jour if you had an EM or even an early solid state that you like the best?
Ooh, early solid state. I really like Genie.
Ooh,
Genie's a good
That's a
one.
great choice.
Yeah. Genie and Sinbad.
Yes.
Oh, that could be a punishing game there, Brian.
It's treated me well in tournaments before, so I have to respect that.
Yeah, the Sinbad here at Papa is actually pretty nice. You can really fight the game a lot, because otherwise it's pretty much shooting dangerous things and hopefully not going down the drain.
I feel like anything based on mythology like Sinbad really should be shooting dangerous things and hoping for the best.
That's true.
All right, come on, get it.
Cyclopes?
Get it. Nope.
Get it, come on.
Oh!
Note to our techs,
But-
R5000 lights out.
Yeah.
Somebody make Dan a
Pull
note.
it. Out. Ding, 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 ding.
And I believe our producer here has put the screen a little low so you can't see that nice thing.
100,000 point light. Well, that's actually not the producer's fault, but
Isn't there
we'll blame him
Isn't
anyway.
there a banner at the top?
There is indeed a banner at the top of the game that has all the 100,000 point lights. And if you notice, there was a weird, strange,
Drain?
weird, strange, a really strange sound that you would get if you end up rolling it. And rolling it is the coin term that we call whenever all of the score reels reset basically back to 0. Whenever that happens, you get the 100,000 point relay turns on, and you get that strange noise going.
Now, to be fair, not all games have rollover lights.
Nope.
Not all of them do. As you can see, there we go. There's a good look. Player 1, as you can see, has 100,000 points.
Yeah, my favorite is Knight Rider's King of the Road. When you there is no 100,000 point light, but when you do roll it over, it just makes that burn and just says King of the Road.
King of the Road.
My favorite game is Gottlieb's Timeline, which has no indication that you've rolled it over, so you better be praying somebody was watching.
You better pay
Oh, yes.
attention. trying to think of other games. Oh, hang glider. Whenever you roll it, it goes over the top, kind of similar to your Knight Rider game.
What is it? Hocus Pocus does the same.
What does that say?
Just over the top as well.
Over the top.
And then there's the Gottlieb WoW games, which they fall in their own special bit. Because there's not just a 100,000 point line, or a 200,000 point line, or just a 300,000 point line. They've got everything from 100,000 to 1 million.
What game is this?
This could be Team 1. Team 1's probably the most popular example. I believe there was also a pool game recently used at a tournament that has like all the way up to like 2 million point scoring on 5 reels.
I actually played a wood rail not too long ago at our local Pittsburgh Pinball Dojo.
High diver.
High diver that has, I think, every point total from 10 to 9,999,990.
We call that the Guns N' Roses score.
The Guns N' Roses score.
Brian, what's the weirdest game you've ever seen in a tournament?
Wow, I don't know. I always feel a little strange when I see Dragon in a tournament, but
Interflips Dragon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Bow.
1 year I convinced the rest of the Papa crew to put Derby Day in the Classics division at Papa.
I played it.
I love that.
I'm not gonna lie.
It also ended up in a D division, which I've heard many interesting comments about it.
Derby Day is fantastic, and I'll fight you over it.
I'm not saying Derby Day is not fantastic.
Question from our producer over here. Has Orbiter 1 ever ended up in a tournament? I know for a fact it was in a split flipper division at Papa 20.
I've played it at a Super Electric Monthlies before.
Yeah, I've definitely played it there.
But if you want to talk about being in a serious competition, hell no.
We've used it for PPL Booby Duck prizes.
Fun
I
stuff.
call that some serious competition.
That's definitely serious competition.
I have issues with the fact that you can use Orbiter 1 in the PPL, but you can't use Baby Pac-Man, because that should be totally allowed.
Which I and our producer will agree with. Why can't we use Baby Pac-Man?
I don't know. Evan? I think Evan knows.
Pete is a Senior League official. Pete could jump over here and tell us why.
The reason is you can lose your ball what? Without ever flipping, because it starts with a video game.
You actually can lose
wait,
your ball without ever flipping on multiple games. I mean,
Jersey Jack Pirates.
anything with the Switch validation. I was playing in League. I was playing hard body. I got 20 points and drained. Hey, it gets better. Ball 2. I got 20 more points and drained. I'm not even joking. I had 40 points going into ball 3.
Oh,
I've seen 0 points on some games before off drains. No tilt.
Yeah.
I had I was in a tournament on Target Alpha once. I was the last player on ball 3, down by 10 points, and I plunged a 0-point ball.
Oh,
wow.
That is a heartbreaker.
Oh, no.
I heard the word Target Alpha, and I just immediately assumed the worst.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
10 points. Talk about close scores, huh? I've played some Target Alpha in my time.
That's gone.
It's definitely treated me poorly more often than it's treated me well.
Not enough to catch Petey.
But enough to buzz.
Well, I did get the buzz, but not enough to catch Petey.
Got the buzz, but not the best. Priyanka steps up.
I really like this game. Like, I love it, and it's making me sad.
Well,
It's making me so
just
sad.
because you love it doesn't mean it has to love you,
I
Priyanka.
know,
but make it
my love is
happen.
endless for this game.
You will get it.
I love this game too. I think this game is a ton of fun.
It is. And like I said, I've played this multiple occasions, and Priyanka has taken multiple dollars off of me playing this game. So.
Oh.
But that lower pop bumper says
Oh my
no.
God! CDs need to not be allowed in the booth when Priyanka's playing.
Yeah.
Because all he does is play
Okay.
Tripper.
All right. You know what? After this, I'll swap out, and I'll play some Captain Fantastic.
I just feel like you trip her up, and that's not fair.
All right, player 4. We've got Tia. Let's get some buzz action, Tia. Nice.
Nice
plunge.
feed.
That was like perfect. Unfortunately, it wasn't lit, but it still was a thing
It was
of
still
beauty. in my
beautiful, yeah.
opinion. Oh, there you go, Casey. Now she's got the gate open.
And the double bonus. But unfortunately, oh, never mind. There's the bonus.
There's some bonus.
There's some bonus. There's some more bonus.
Exactly. She's got those star rollovers lit, which are netting her an extra 1,000 in bonus. I like the use of not flipping right there on the upper flipper. Oh, got an in lane, therefore not using the gate.
Gate's still open.
Gate is still open.
Yes, and that in lane is 3 bonus advances, so that
No,
can be
no, no.
worth a
Oh.
load of points.
A good ball nonetheless.
So, if your game doesn't have beeps and buzzes but has some amazing music and you want to make it better, you can try Pinball Mix. Pick your favorite songs and the pin you want modded and receive a super awesome mega sound mix for that game. Some of our upcoming broadcasts for 4th of July weekend for us folks in the United States, we've got Liberty Bell, Spirit of 76, and Freedom. After that, we've got ourselves Space Week with Warlocks, Stellar Wars, and Blackout. And
that
after
game.
that, I think we got this one. Pete, would you like to comment on the state of Johnny Mnemonic right now?
No.
Elizabeth, would you like to comment on the state of Spectrum? I'll take that as a no. But we will have it on July 16th. We promise. We promise. And as usual, all games subject to change.
All right, we kicked Chris out of the booth and we've replaced him with Pete. Hi, Pete.
Hi.
Now Chris is gonna.
Now Priyanka's going to do good because Chris is out of the booth.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
exactly.
She'll take me down now.
Oh, we're gonna-
Now you can say good things about me and have me lose the ball, right?
Yeah. So the other week, Chris, you smack talked on Casablanca.
I'm not
and-
smack talking on this game. I love this game.
Yeah, and also you found out what happens when you smack talk.
Yeah, it smacks back.
Yep.
Yeah,
So-
never doing that again.
Yeah, if you
We've
smack
also-
talk this game, you're fixing the light that's out before you go home.
Also want to point out that Lewis has left us and stepped over to the producer's chair so that Evan could do some play. And here in the booth, we're joined by Jake Kolajczyk, if that is your real name.
Oh boy.
Elizabeth does not believe my name is real.
Oh, nice little flip kick there, sir.
Thank you.
Now,
Give me some of that.
I don't want to ruin the shutout, but we haven't seen a scissor yet. in this game.
Oh no. Shall I show what happens?
No. I
Don't know what
think
that
we will
is.
see one before the night is over.
I don't know what that is.
A
What is
scissor,
that?
where it goes in between the two flippers.
Oh, yeah.
Right,
yeah,
when
yeah.
the flippers are up, it
Got
can
it.
go right down
Just missed
there.
my double bonus.
Gotcha.
And as many times as I tried, we haven't seen anybody fire it down the left out lane from the upper flipper either.
Oh, wait and see.
Yeah.
Chris isn't in the booth now. This is going to be your good game.
Yep. You
Whatever
got
you
it.
say.
It's true, Petey. When you were playing, you were flipping with that upper flipper like a madman.
Only for Papa TV.
Yeah.
It rolled down too fast.
Oh, wait
I
a minute.
wasn't
Wait a
sure.
minute. Wait a minute. This
I
game
see no
does not
points.
count. The wrong number of players was not started. I see a one.
Ah, all
What's
right.
going on here?
All right.
Who did this?
Just start it all over
Yeah,
again.
who did do that?
Who did this?
Nothing happened.
Right, nothing happened.
Oh, I get a redo.
CD's
Yay.
so
Do you want?
excited.
Do you want to?
Yeah,
do you wanna
CD's
start?
is player one.
You want to start?
The player order was established.
Now,
that doesn't change.
Okay.
Just in case.
Now, if that were to happen,
Yes. If that were to happen in tournament play, Chris, what is the ruling?
I believe the ruling is we start another game,
You do.
That is
That's
correct.
exactly
and
right.
I
It
don't
is
get any
n-
points.
It's no one's fault.
Hey, in
Chris
case
does
you
not
guys
get
didn't
any
know,
of the, any of the awesome points that he had on.
we are
ball.
all human,
That's right.
and we make
We
mistakes.
all
Yep.
make mistakes.
All right, imagine that. Now, because of that, I'm going to probably scissor right now. So we'll lose the ball out this lovely little thing here.
That would be the human
I'm going
thing
to
do.
try the cool thing, and I'm going to try to tap pass into the gap. All right.
Without touching either those two flippers. The perfect nothing but net tap.
Oh, that's gonna be hard.
Speak nonsense. You speak
I'm gonna do it.
nonsense.
I'm gonna do it. All right. Let's score some points first, right?
No.
Yeah, there you go.
No.
Get your max
first.
double bonus and then scissor.
Oh boy, that had some.
All right.
So
All right.
Brian,
Here we go.
has that something that's been thought of bringing back?
Wow.
Scissor flippers?
I haven't heard of anybody thinking about that, but I'd be down for that.
How about gobble holes?
Gobble holes. No.
Yeah,
I like
not
the
so
idea
much.
that Brian could put all of this in his Price is Right pin because
Oh,
the wacky
nice.
games that happen would allow for wackiness.
It's true. I like that. I like that approach.
All right, here we go. Ah,
Too hard.
too hard. All right. Come on. We'll
Chris
get it.
just has too much skill for this contest.
The game is so nice to me
Can't
right
help
now
it,
for some
I'm
reason.
just so good.
Well, Chris is attempting to fail. I want to take a moment to,
Oh man, it's so hard.
since this is our Pride broadcast, bring up something where we didn't fail, specifically the Bopple ladies. Recently, my brother-in-law transitioned into my sister-in-law, and the Bopple crew was the very first ones to say, hey, invite her to our league. This will give her an opportunity to hang out with other ladies like herself. And while she didn't take her up on it, the support from the Bopple crew for something like that was amazing.
Oh, I'm glad she appreciated it. She's awesome. And
Hey, Tilted.
and her son is awesome too. I like your nephew a great deal. So the
Thank you.
offer stands at any time she wants to come out. Please come out.
Now Evan's up.
All right.
Before you plunge, you're doing a great job. Great job producing today.
Well, thank you.
James is watching, and he said you stink, but
It's par for the course.
He also stuck his tongue out and said neener neener.
My problem is, how can I get some Boston Market?
You can't.
James
Yes.
took it all.
Use your money.
Yeah, no kidding. James took it
Nice
all.
try. What you don't know is you're the one that's actually paying for the Boston market.
I hope not.
Oh, through the
I
pop
got some.
bumpers.
Not sure how that happened.
Sometimes
cool,
on
though.
Captain Fantastic you can shoot up from the upper flipper through the pops, but I don't think it's very recommended. I remember a FSPA versus PPL competition where
Yes, this was one of the games.
this was one of the games, and
Oh, nice.
there was this was a competition in which a friendly league-to-league competition in which all amount of
And by friendly, you mean we made taunting signs.
Yes,
and
all amount of
Doug wore
taunting
a
to the
referee
players on the
shirt with a
opposed-
whistle involved.
yes,
and-
on
They
the
got some good
opposed team.
players too.
As much as I don't want to admit
I'll
it, the
take that.
video is out there.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's on YouTube.
So everybody on when the other team was playing were trying to get the players to flip with that upper flipper.
I was the coach for the PPL team, and my instruction to my players was, I better not see you use that flipper, ever.
I'll tell
Because-
you what, though, I recently have fallen in love with the Beatles game. I adore it, and there are two upper flippers on that I've actually gotten really good at. You know, that's essential to being able to control the ball in
Yes.
the mode that you're in is the use of those upper flippers. So a game like this, because the outline is super wide and because of the scissor flippers on the one side, you don't want to overuse
Right.
your upper flipper because you will just send it straight out.
Yeah.
But you should never make a
No,
career
don't swear.
of
Oh no,
ignoring-
I love upper flippers. Just not on this game. This game is it's actually really useful when you can use the upper flipper to steer the ball to the left side.
If it's on route, the drop targets are worthwhile. One clear is extra ball, I believe.
Ball, yeah.
So,
See, I'm much more concerned about doing what Tia just did because I will just
Backhand
flip
the
it
out
right
lane?
out into the
Yeah.
outline.
Score more.
All right.
it's a good strategy.
All right. Let's try this again.
Well, I mean, you're already ahead because you put in the right number of players this time.
I know.
So
So the game is already over.
Everyone gets to play.
Oh God, I don't know if I can do it, guys.
a game based on Elton John. You have tickets to see him, right, Elizabeth?
I did. I got to see Elton John in October.
Nice.
When he was here in Pittsburgh and paid way too much for the tickets, and now he's coming back through. I didn't think he was going to come back through, so he's super overpaid. But yeah, got to see Elton John in October. Last August, I got to see Queen, which I didn't think was a thing I'd ever get to do in my lifetime. So yeah, 70s
Give me
rock
that
bands, man.
Nope.
Nice.
Elton is currently on his worldwide Yellow Brick Road tour, which is his farewell tour. And the first act, he comes out in a white suit with a sequin dragon on the back, so I kept calling it his Cobra Kai suit.
Woo! That was close. I can't do it. I can't do it. It's too touchy. Oh!
Oh!
All right.
It hit the bottom of the flipper, so I'm not that happy with it. But
It wasn't
that's-
perfect, but it was a good effort. I liked it.
Brian, have you ever gotten to see Elton John in concert?
It wasn't a swish, but it did score nothing.
It still did score nothing.
Brian, are you still with us?
Yeah, I saw Elton John about maybe 15 years ago with Billy Joel in concert down here. It was awesome.
Oh, remarkable. That's what I was going to say.
That would've been great.
That would have been one great show to see.
Woo!
Nice.
Oh,
nudge.
yeah, I didn't need the keys. Nice. If that happens at Pinburg, don't do that. Don't smack it.
Yeah.
Well, no,
I didn't want
no,
to.
I'm sorry. The rules specifically state that's precisely what you should do.
What?
Smack it?
He
Bunch
said
of people
you
don't
should.
have to
read
ball
the
search.
rules, don't know what they're talking about.
On a
says
game
the
that doesn't,
person
you
who's
have to
been
wait.
Wait.
doing the
There's
rules.
rules in pinball.
Yeah, there are.
Oh.
Shocking.
Yeah, your rule's to drain.
Well, you know what? That ultimately the
he
ball
did-
is happy right there. It's going to happen anyways.
Yeah.
One way or another, this ball will eventually end.
Point is, if a ball becomes stuck like it just did there, you want to gently try to nudge it out. If you can't, then you want to call for a tournament director to come and free the ball for you.
So, the happiest day of my life, actually, Kip, I should have brought this up on ball one, revolves around Elton John.
Okay.
Really?
I met my wife at an Elton John concert, sitting in the front row.
Cool.
That's awesome. She was in the front row, or you were?
No,
in the
I
front row?
was. She was third row, but, you know,
Nice.
conversation
Congratulations.
happens.
Nice.
Then what?
Well, she's, for some reason, 22 years later, still with me. So, explain
was
that
it-
one. That's probably the more difficult thing to explain.
Was it
Why-
your song that made you guys fall in love? Because, I mean, that's a pretty great love song, man.
22 years. How old are you?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you not know that Evan's 84 years old?
I am the answer to the universe.
So you got married at 20.
No, I met her at 20.
Oh, okay. I thought you were married for
Oh,
22
come on.
Oh.
Santa Claus pop bumper cap. That's what I call him. It's Elton John, though.
All right, Tia's stepping up. She's about to annihilate everybody.
Might try for that thing. Does that look fun?
Get
We'll see.
some of them there things. Getting that A and B.
Or that thing?
Oh.
Yeah, that's a familiar scene.
Oh, all right. What's next?
Get special.
How do you do that? All targets?
2 drop target banks.
Sure.
Lots of upper flipper.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Wow, that has a nice curve to
Yeah.
it.
I leveled this machine out a little bit
See,
before we
that's
set it up.
great use of the upper flipper there.
What, flipping?
Well, just gently nudging it to the other flipper instead of flipping it all the way over to the outlane.
Oh, that lower target's so tough. Get it.
All right, one One set down.
Alrighty. Well, how come it's not lit?
That would have been the extra ball. Now you need to clear them again.
Oh.
Yeah, I was good at knocking them down once. I couldn't get them twice.
Brutal.
Hey, Priyanka.
Hi. So Tia claims she could tap pass on all the flippers in this game.
Okay.
I'm just putting that
How
out
do you
there.
tap pass from the upper flipper?
I mean,
He says you can.
A little.
Tia's magic.
Give it a little tap.
Okay. Oh, that was pretty.
That was really good.
Double bonus.
Go up there.
It's good to see.
Oh,
Priyanka
that
actually
was pretty. Just right on the fly. Like, that's no big deal. I tap pass on the fly all the time.
When you pull it off, it feels so good, though. Okay.
Woo.
Nice.
Ooh, that could have been bad.
Oh.
You're going to shoot it
Not
into
to
the
do that,
out lane,
yeah.
shoot it in just as hard as you can. Oh, nice.
Yes, that's what I wanted.
Now you have a gate.
Nice.
Now go get it again.
Yeah, that's all good.
Priyanka is ridiculously good at these games.
Yeah. It's lather, rinse, repeat. Oh, light gate, use
Nice.
gate. Light gate, use gate.
It's like Star Pool.
So,
Once you've maxed out the bonus, the best points are going down the open gate.
Star Pool, one of my
Ooh,
favorite
that's
games
not
of all
it.
time.
I love me some Star Pool.
I can't hit that.
My Star Pool will be used in Pinburg. Treat it well, people.
Nice. Oh, yeah.
Jeez.
Nice little kick save there. Oh,
Priyanka's at the point now where it's just chopping wood. She has a max bonus, so. it's
she's
like-
also just teaching a master class on how to
Yeah.
pass and save. So pay attention, kids.
Pinball Howard in the Twitch chat. You should have done some tap passing on Waz just because you can. Is that a skill you use on your Waz, Jake?
No. There's no reason to tap pass on Lost.
But you can.
You can. No, it's the flippers are beautifully responsive on that game.
Ooh.
She's just in complete control here.
Yeah.
If this was the longest ball.
Yeah.
No, she's
yeah,
already
that's
won.
right.
Yeah.
I don't want to tilt.
Yeah, I do not recommend tilting at this point.
And that's because how much bonus does she have built up?
30,000. Yeah, you tilt and don't tilt and double your score. This shows the importance of bonus on games
There it
like
is.
this.
Boom.
All that ball plus her other balls, she only had
Gorgeous.
28,000. Now here's 30 on top of it.
Do you see what you do when CDs isn't in the booth,
Yeah,
like,
of course.
yammering in your ear?
It's the rivalry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Evan, Priyanka showed you what to do.
I think we should just end the broadcast with that for me, but I'm not producing anymore.
On that note, on behalf
nice.
of myself, Evan, CDs,
Good night.
Priyanka, Pete, Jake, and Lewis, and thank you so much to Brian Dominy for hanging out with us. I think that's gonna do it.
Is that seriously how we're ending this?
No.
I mean,
I don't know. You're over there. Lewis could pull the plug at any point.
Lewis
now.
can absolutely do whatever he wants. What am I doing here?
Hopefully not training.
Wait, you're rooting for me for once?
Yeah.
Oh, that's very nice.
Priyanka needs a little bit of competition now. She's getting dialed in, and
You bought a dialed in?
no,
Oh.
I
Jake did.
but I think
Dialed in
Veronica
is-
finally woke up.
Dialed in is fantastic.
Oh, come on.
So if the chat has any questions for
Good night.
Brian while we're finishing up our last couple games here, put them in real quick and we'll pass them on. We want to thank everyone for joining us for our Pride celebration today.
That's a good feed.
Nice.
Tia, you gonna tap pass on every flipper for us?
Gonna try. Oh, my.
Oh, nice. That was. Oh,
I love watching Tia play. She's
jeez.
fantastic. She's phenomenal.
All right, here's the upper.
Tia, fantastic.
Oh,
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 beautiful.
no. You have to get a full flip. The mechanism, the switch is at the end of stroke on the bottom flipper, so you got to get a full flip if you want to tap at the top.
Damn.
So we had Lewis juggling balls on
Show delivers.
Wizard of Oz. Now we have Tia juggling on Captain Fantastic.
Now do it one-handed.
Yeah, that upper flipper is going to be hard to get.
But Tia has accomplished lighting the special. She got the target bank down twice. Her left out lane is a special.
Oh, this is oh, that was beautiful.
Oh.
Now that's proof that you can just sometimes have fun in pinball and not care about score. That was amazing to watch. She's still in last place.
Doesn't matter what she.
It doesn't
But it was
matter.
amazing to watch.
Yeah, that was
First place in
amazing.
our hearts with that one. That was
Yeah.
good stuff. Oh, no.
Ooh.
Nice nudge.
Little outlane love.
How did she do that?
Hey,
Chris is
Priyanka.
jealous. Hi.
Yeah, you've already beat him.
We're on ball 4, right?
Yes.
So
I mean, ball last of my heart.
Priyanka's got to roll this.
Ooh.
I mean, she could very easily.
Yeah?
Shut up. No, sorry. I was talking to Chris, not you. I promise.
I once,
I didn't say anything.
one time in my entire pinball career did I beat Priyanka on an EM. It was Stellar Wars. It was competition. It meant something. I will never forget. Because she's phenomenal. Like, she's just unbeatable.
Everyone's beautiful, including Chris Stevens.
Yeah, I beat him once. Did you see? Because it was great.
It's on video.
Oh.
Still, that's another 22 in bonus. She's got a good chance of rolling it. But it's like a no-hitter. Let's not talk about
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Just going to jinx it.
I don't know.
I'm going to call her Tia Happy Gilmore Roberts. Tap, tap, tappy, tap, tap, tap.
Happy Gilmore.
So now he's got his gate open.
Got a gate.
Nice.
Oh, I misread that. That's me.
Yeah.
So, Brian, is there any skill that you're really known for? And is there any skill that you, even after all these years of playing, you still find yourself working on?
I don't think I'm known for any particular skills. I'm always watching other people and trying to learn and get better at things. I couldn't tap pass 5 years ago, so that's definitely a move I've been working on. Actually, I did that. I've been working on my alley pass as well over the last year.
Nice. Is there any skill that you find that you just kind of naturally came to?
I don't know. I mean, I've been playing pinball a long time, so I picked up a lot of skills before I saw videos or even saw other people playing. So, I mean, I was, doing catches and drop catches and post passes and things like that when I was probably in high school. So, this was a long time ago. So, but yeah, always trying to get better.
It wasn't that long ago.
You know, there's a cool little trick on Captain Fantastic. If you get the extra ball lit, do you know how to collect it?
No.
You have to go through this lane, but you really can't shots it because you'll hit the wall here. You'll hit the gate. So what you want to do is you want to catch it underneath this upper flipper and then let it drop into it.
Okay, do it.
I want to try, but that's like one of my favorite things to do is like, oh, the extra ball's lit. If I get a ball on a flipper.
Okay, there's a ball on a flipper.
Oh.
Oh!
And there goes a ball off the flipper.
Tried it.
Bye-bye.
All the skills.
And that ball assures that Priyanka will
There
beat
was
Chris.
there was an attempt.
Okay, well, we need a big arrow, and we need to cover this up. Okay, there.
Oh, you want to see.
Nice.
We're not going to jinx this.
Nope.
We have no idea what's going on. We'll just listen for the sound.
Oh, what are you doing?
Nice.
Come on. No, that's good, that's good. That's all right, that's an A.
Nice, good.
She's so good at nudging. She's so good at nudging.
Patience there.
Oh,
bring it.
Nice.
A lot of players would have panicked there, and it even looked like she was a little bit panicked, but she knew what to do. And
Nice. There's the B. A plus B means goodness.
it's double bonus.
Nice.
Now it's added up.
Oh. Excellent, excellent. Right down the center. Yep.
The amazing thing is she has no bonus yet. But it's doubled when she gets it. There we go. That'll help.
Ooh.
All right. Come on.
Okay.
Yes, we got it.
Just
Let's
barely.
see. Yay! Roll it. Nicely done, Priyanka.
Can't believe she only got 1,060 points after all that work.
Well, that's what happens when you toad all 5 balls.
It's like playing no good gophers. Chop, chop, chop. No points, no points. Double whammy.
Jared, cool dude asking what time are you going to start Replay FX and end the stream? That information will be announced the week of. Normally, we will do a few rounds of the
semifinals
and the finals of Pinburg on Saturday night. And then we last year we had coverage of some of Intergalactic and the Whipped finals on Sunday, but still working out our full schedule. So
we also have on different channels that we manage. We also have streams from the console desks and tournament areas for like Mario Kart and that kind of stuff. So
there'll be lots of great coverage. If you can't be at Replay FX, you can watch a good bit of it.
Can't be at Replay FX.
I don't know what's wrong with you if you can't be at
manage your
Replay.
time better.
So Brian, what's your favorite part of Replay FX since you come every year?
I mean, other than Pinburg?
Sure.
I spent some time last year and just hung out at the, where the bands were playing, and I don't remember their name, but there was some band that was playing like Nintendo music, and I just loved
Bit
that.
Brigade.
Bit Brigade, amazing.
Yes.
They are back this year, so definitely check the
me
schedule
my
for
beat.
all of our bands and come catch some Bit Brigade because they're pretty awesome. They are Dominy endorsed.
Oh, not enough without the
I like it though.
Good game, 89. That beats Priyanka by 88. All right, Tia, what skill are you going to show off with now?
She still hasn't tapped with that upper flipper.
She pretty much did. So if you blinked and missed it, I'm sorry, but
Yeah,
she pretty much
kind
did.
of. I kind of want to get it over there, but
Well, first you have to get
looks
past
a little
Abby.
intimidating. Look, you know.
Welcome, Captain Retro,
try it anyway.
to the YouTube chat. Yeah, we did Wizard of Oz. It was our first game tonight, but you can catch all of the fun from this evening. It'll be out on YouTube later this week, and it'll
Nice. It's like subtle. I don't even see the flipper really move, but it totally does.
I don't know if I can do this.
What are you trying to
Oh,
do?
man.
She's trying to do the trick that Chris was doing.
Oh, the tap,
The
tap out.
tap to scissor.
Well, there's the
Wow.
the chill to drain. That was
Wow.
Oh, that was the denouement.
Oh, well, Brian, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hey, thanks everybody. It's been fun.
We had a lot of fun too.
when we
Hope
do.
to- Hope to have you back again,
Yeah.
Pete.
Yeah, when we do your games for Papa TV, we'll have to have you back on again.
Yeah.
That sounds great. I'd love it.
All right then. Well, Elizabeth thanked everybody already.
I did. I listed all of you by name.
So I guess this is where we say goodbye. Thank you for joining us tonight and helping us take part in our Pride celebration. If you're out there and you see somebody that may be different than you, wanting to play pinball, welcome them in, share a game with them. Pinball is something that everybody can take part in. It doesn't matter what differences you may have. It's a great equalizer, a great common thing. Make friends, have fun, and
Play pinball.
have a good night, everyone.
All right. Good night, all.
Bye.